Damn shanks.
Good evening and welcome to tonight's episode of Eat, Crit and Survive, which is brought to you today from the elemental plane of fire. As we have hit the hottest day of the year so far, again.
Yeah, I swear we were in this position about
4
weeks ago.
Yeah. But we're here with a bunch of guys gathered in different locations to play some Dungeons and Dragons. You'll notice we are shy one Laura because she is off with her partner on the way.
Damn you, Laura.
I know. But she's here in spirit and
she'll see the gifts.
And she is drinking plenty of them, I imagine. Connor is here. He's just wandered off to
do something.
Probably get a drink.
Probably get a drink.
I'm surprised he hasn't left it unmuted and we can hear his ice machine going right now.
Well, because he was expecting that we would start and that would irritate people.
He's either getting an ice machine or knowing Connor, he's getting coffee.
Well, he has got his industrial AC units in there, so he might.
That's also true.
So, apart from that, how is everyone?
Oh,
pretty good.
Yes, all right. How are you, Connor?
Not bad, not bad. Woo, very warm. Very warm. Just open this window.
I'm just very conscious I'm eating crisps. I'm like, I wonder how loud this is on the stream.
Not too bad.
Oh,
The
no,
microphone being that far away from the crunching is making it easier to hear. So
I'm having to adjust my mic levels on the fly as I go between crisp bites.
Chris, 1, 2, 3, 4. Dear. All right then. I guess
We just need to be walking through a forest with lots of crunchy sticks.
everyone make stealth checks.
It's going to be Cedric's contributions. Like, he's not going to actually help the party. He's going to sit there and eat snacks. What should we get up to?
I hope he is at the party.
Pack of popcorn? Don't really know where I'm going with that.
ooh, I might make popcorn in the break.
I mean, why not? If that's what you want.
And that's how
It's got
effective
to-
we are with advertising, folks. So if you want to sponsor us, then make sure you get in touch.
Yeah, other foodstuffs are available.
No, they're not.
Yeah, they are. I have melon.
Oh.
Other fruits are available. Dear. Anyway, so yes, with that then, I guess if there's nothing else that we need to talk about, other than if you want to check out how we got to this point in our campaign, you can go and check our previous episodes on Eat, Crit, Survive's YouTube channel. You can go onto YouTube and search for Eat, Crit, and Survive, and you'll be able to find them all there. We will be uploading the various audio files from our legacy, sort of the first 44 episodes that we did for some reason as a podcast only. As time goes on, I say we, I will be doing that because I've got files.
I love how we look at our text expert and he's going, "Yeah, you're doing it."
I mean, to be fair, it's not difficult. It's tedious. So
it's very complicated, Luke. Never give the game away. Very, very complicated.
which is why you subscribe.
Me setting the stream up every week, very complicated. It's very precise, particularly when you're eating crisps.
Exactly. And in order to, if you want to support our stream, you can of course follow us at Eat Crit Survive on Twitter. So there you go. Like, follow, subscribe, and all that vlogger stuff.
Don't forget to ring that bell to make sure you get consistent updates of when we upload our videos to YouTube.
What's the classic? Punch the bell! Punch it!
Don't forget to ring that
post,
bell.
In post, someone will add the bells. Someone add these bells in post, yeah? There we go, yeah.
You say someone had these in post. You, very complicated post session part. You just add in a bell that you just go green screen over the top.
I'm just going to Google bell right now. Wait.
Whoa! There's a picture.
Very careful with that Google. Make sure that safe search is on.
Got 70 pictures of Stu, and you're just like, why has this happened? Anyway, so where we last left off, you guys were
Talking.
You were talking.
Yeah.
You were conversing.
Like all day.
You had travelled back to Yorvik and up to Alfheim, to your now familiar keep, with your new gnomish/goblin friend Leela. You had been to the astral plane. You had killed some things. You killed some more things. You killed some illithid. You killed dragon. Some more illithid. You got chased by a giant worm and teleported away from the worm and made the worm teleport away from you.
Sounds like it.
A little bit.
Hans, are we the baddies?
Yeah.
I mean, we're not trying to blow up the world, so we can't be that bad.
We could. We are in the planning stage. We could switch allegiances.
Well, it would take spikes on the helmets, really.
We've brought all of the commanders of the resistance together in one location, so we can just let them all go.
One big meteor swarm would be all it took.
Leave the boats out there on the sea. But having Asher return to Asgard to secure some aid, Cedric cock-blocking Lyra, Athena going about to 7 different locations and not really doing anything.
Unfortunate.
Wasn't fortunate. The people she was looking for weren't there. But you returned to the keep, or some of you did, and awoke to find that there was a tent city outside your keep walls, this invisible keep that no one knows is there.
They just happened to camp outside.
They happened to camp outside of. It's almost as if they knew. Asher and Kafina suspiciously missing, and Kelotar somewhat pissed off because he'd been told to go somewhere and been left alone for a while. Asher had a dream describing the shit that had gone on Fiaras, and much planning ensued. During the planning, the Legion of Storms turned up to make things more complicated. But with that, you are in your keep, currently discussing what your next phase of plan is. So the armies of Enhayi and Valkyrie have what? Enhayi? Had set off on their boats and their longships down towards Fiaras, towards Channel Point. It would take them about 2 to 3 weeks, depending on weather. I'm not going to do a shipping forecast for them because that's
Channel Point 4.
The weather is a soft 16 degrees with a southeast wind. It looks good to be at full mast. Looks like a good day for being shipping. And if you look out onto your right, you will see everything on fire. And to your left, everything underwater. And both above, death, and below,
more death. That's right. Most of them already died once.
Inside the vehicle at all times.
To be fair, most of the people in this army have died at least once already.
Isn't it like recreation for them?
It is pretty much how they pass the time.
Recreation death.
Yeah,
it's like a drug.
That's what they do. They are reborn each day if they are killed.
If someone offers you death, just say no.
So
say no to death.
With those various discussions going on, what would you like to do? Well, I sit back and not have to say anything for
I would like to try. That is all.
Asher, you look like you have a proposition to make.
Hang on, let me turn in my chair.
Unfortunately, as you turn in your chair, it scrapes along the floor. You just hit.
Oh, yeah, Men in Black. So, does anyone have any real suggestions?
I thought we had
final planning.
I thought we had decided to go to Grove and then go over to look at Salvisa.
Okay, plan 1. Anyone else?
How would we get to the Grove?
The tree portally thing? I'm sure someone said about that.
I don't know, but let's discuss it for about an hour.
The possible problem with that is that once we're finished, we need to be able to get other places. I just suggest going to the same place but taking the airship to get there. Because that way we have the airship available to us to go other places once we're done at Solrisa.
That's fine.
We would need someone to look after it, though, wouldn't we? I mean, unless we're going to fly it in. If we're going
We
to,
would just hide it.
it's pretty big. I don't know.
Okay, and then to add to this, who would be going? Of course, we need to send these fine chaps out here somewhere.
Bella nods and says, we're perfectly happy going most places. I thought the original plan was for us to go and meet the army in Channel Point so we could guide them around.
Yes, that makes sense.
Because we have a fairly superior knowledge of that part of the continent.
So I would like to put forward two propositions here. Either you escort the army over to Channel Point and set up a nice little fort hold in there. And from there, we can orchestrate some sort of attack once we have seen what we're going to fight and what we're going up against. Or two, we send the entire fleet still to Channel Point and you accompany us to try and retake Solrisa to make sure that the ships don't get drowned at sea by whatever, is it Admiral Tidal Wave? Yeah. It really is whatever you feel most comfortable with doing. Of course, the more the merrier on retaking Solrisa, I feel like that. But with 14 of us, stealth may be an issue.
That had crossed my mind when I looked around the group. We're not exactly the stealthiest bunch of individuals, and we may be better off trying to take multiple points of attack. I mean, we can certainly, whilst we're waiting for the army to arrive, we could go from Channel Point to Abelos and try and help reclaim that.
That was my thought.
And then we can pincer onto the Grove and liberate it.
And then once done there, meet back up at Channel Point. The army should be there by then.
Yes.
That sounds like a good plan.
The only thing we need to be aware of from Nexus is that they are relatively good proximity to the capital, and
if we get there and we feel like it may be too strong, we just pull back.
The other thing to consider is that the Nexus is under control of Velimas and the Fey creatures, which means Brother Mask, the doppelganger, and his friends were part of that branch of the cult, and his boss is an even better shapeshifter, changeling creature than he was. I know there is a very powerful shapeshifter, at least one, in the enemy forces.
So you would suggest that we leave that place alone and come back?
Not necessarily completely alone. I'd just be very wary of gambling on it.
Or perhaps if we suspect that there might be infiltration, we come up with a code word here and now so that we know, or a call and response.
I mean, this is assuming that said changing creature isn't in the room at this very moment.
At which point I was planning on that suggestion, was there any kind of indication that they may take this code and use it against us?
Make an insight check.
With pleasure.
Cedric, who are you insighting?
I rolled low. Who said that last phrase on...
Bella, she's the leader.
Then I am inciting Bella. I did roll only a 3, though, so I think that's only an 8.
8? Wow. As an individual, as a rogue, and as someone who's a little bit tricksy, you know that she is generally quite difficult to read. But on the other hand, in this particular instance, she is being sincere in this planning. Obviously, it doesn't necessarily benefit them for everything to go to hell in a handbasket.
That we know of.
As far as you know.
Okay. Sorry, I didn't want to interrupt the full-on conversation. I just want to make sure I got that insight.
No worries.
So from here, we are going to go to Solrisa, taking the ship.
All right.
Yeah.
Very well.
You are going to go to Abelos and do your best there.
We'll probably go to You might stop in a channel point just to make sure that everything's right there, and then we can probably get there a little bit closer.
And once we're done with Solrisa, we will await some sort of signal from yourselves.
Yeah. Gildas, he's able to cast sending, so he can pass messages to us through you. So
That's more than fine.
red-headed human nods.
Then
That's
if we're going to be using that, we need a code word that's quite short, so as not to use up too much of the sending's capabilities.
So a single word, then. I don't suggest we use 3 beeps. That seems a little bit excessive.
Morse code.
What
Norse
about,
code.
what
Morse
about
code.
mushroom?
Horse code.
I was going to say Norse code. There you are.
What about
No, well, actually, we might go to Tallow. That might be best place for us to stop. We
what
can go
if
from there.
the code word is mushroom?
Mushroom. Very well. We
Fine.
Mushroom works for us. Do we say it at the beginning or the end?
Beginning.
Very well.
No.
Everything starts with
Everything starts with mushroom.
Everything starts with mushroom.
I suppose the response doesn't necessarily need to have a mushroom because the spell targets a specific individual. There'll be mushroom response.
That makes sense.
All right. In which case, we'll take our leave and we'll rest in Tallow.
Good luck.
And to you as well. Turn and head out of the doorway. And then leave. So the rest of you.
What time of day is it?
By now it's pretty late, probably around 8, 9ish. Kelotar, it's probably about 5 hours earlier.
Okay.
Connor's apparently hot wiring the airship.
Yeah.
So what are you doing? What are you guys doing?
Do we set off now or do we wait until morning?
Why wait?
I think
We're
we go.
fully rested. We've been here for days.
Very well, I'm ready.
Okay.
There's only one more thing. Is Noala coming with?
I am here, you could just ask me.
I am asking you. Are you coming with us?
You could have asked me not in the third person.
I consistently do this.
I've noticed. If you think I will be of benefit to you, then
I mean, you're a skilled healer. I've seen this. But also, I don't want to be taking you something that you don't feel overly comfortable in doing.
I mean, I'm not really the go into war type of person, but if I'm standing at the back healing, then I suppose I could be of use.
Any of us, but we always seem to manage it.
We were saying we could do with someone to stay with the ship. Maybe Noala could do that, and if we run into trouble, we could fall back to the ship, knowing there's some healing here.
I would also suggest that maybe we use some of our unused items to boost power as such.
It says, "Oh, you've got items. What sort of items you got? You've got all sorts of things. You've got shiny things. You've got nice, powerful things. You've got all sorts of magic things. What sort of things you got?"
You've been really quiet up until now. I'm impressed you stayed quiet this long.
Well, I was kind of singing a little tune in my head, and I thought I'd carry it on in my head, but no one else really wanted to talk about it, and I thought it'd be worth doing something.
What armor does Leela wear?
Leela wears leather.
Is she going to want hide?
She might want to hide.
Did someone take the +3 leather?
I have +2 scale mail.
You have your slate
Oh,
scale.
did she already take the +3 level leather anyway?
Let me just check.
I've got +3 leather unclaimed on my list.
Can I claim the metal shield?
Yep.
Please. And I will attune to that at a point when we have an opportunity to do that.
Yes. I'm going to guess that Leela does have the +3 leather armor on, given that her armor class is 16. She's got a -1 in Dex. So I'm guessing she's got something that is boosting her armor class.
That sounds about right. Yes.
So she has the +3.
I'm going to guess so. I think she's probably got something else.
She? Yeah.
She's got some other racial, some other class features that I don't know particularly well. So they give her a bonus to her armor class. Oh, and items. I think she's got a cloak protection or something like that.
And while this is going on, I would like to take off I forget the name, is it Mother's Embrace?
Mother's Embrace, yes.
And say, Cedric, I always think of you first when thinking of things like this.
Like what?
And as I think of you first,
What are you thinking of?
Would you like this item?
Don't you want it?
No.
Doesn't Lyra want it?
I think it would be best with you, Cedric.
Well, if no one wants it, then I will happily take it.
Yes. Think of it as a gift.
You seem closest to the earth. It seems fitting.
I will put on. Yes, it is rather fitting.
It does take a moment for it to actually fit you, because it's been on Ash's forearms. It doesn't quite fit you, and it's sort of but it expands up there. What are you unattuning from to attune to Mother's Embrace?
I am going to unattune.
Oh, hang on. Oh, bear with.
Oh,
There's something I've just realised.
There we go. Just throw everything out the window.
Can't wear heavy armor with
Here
it.
we go. Another. You actually can't wear heavy armor.
Scale mail, yeah, but scale mail is medium armor, so you're okay.
I mean, the point of scale mail armor is that it can be made from lots of things and druids can wear it. That's kind of the purpose of the stuff.
Otherwise, I'd be boned. I'm going to. Okay, hold on.
We do have Nuala here now.
Yes, I just have an eternal. No, it's fine. I'm going to wait into. I'm still not going to set Gundamir free because that would actually free up a tuner slot. I will do it at the end of all of this.
I need to fly around.
So, I am. Yes, exactly. I'm going to unattune from the Staff of Healing, which frees that up for someone else.
Okay.
If an attunement is happening, can I do an attunement?
Yeah, absolutely.
I'm going to unattune from the Amulet of Health.
Okay.
well, that's brave.
Yeah, I know.
As you put it down, Leela sort of scurries up and goes, "Oh, what's that? That's nice and shiny. What does it do?"
This makes you tougher. Oh, I get it. This is something she wants, is it?
Well, I mean, it's more of a case, it's a case of everyone that's in the party, she's the one who would benefit from it the most. Constitution's 12.
She's squishy.
Hmm.
And I'm thinking, since Laura isn't here and she wouldn't say it, I'm going to.
Which version of Mother's Embrace am I using here?
Exalted.
The Awakened.
Hey,
Version Awakened, yes. Got it.
It looks like it's going to start raining here soon, so be prepared to jump up and close the door.
that will help things. I mean, I was basically intending it to be an experiment for now because I'm fully expecting this new shield not to serve me as well. But okay, I will give Leela the Amulet of Health.
Oh, well, thank you very much. Sure, if you don't mind. I mean, I can always give it back to you if you want it back. I can give it back anytime you want it. It's just, let me know and I can take it off and you can have it back.
No problem.
I would like to give my shield of the Uven rune to Noel.
give
Bear with me
the
1 second.
I will give the staff of healing to Nuala. Unless
You'll
it
take
think
the stuff. She'll
cleric-
take the stuff.
Field proficiency.
She takes the shield from you and says, "This is very nice. I don't know how to use this."
Well, you see, you just when someone's coming, you just
Hold
bring
it
it up.
Very simple.
I feel like this is the most basic of equipment. Do they really can clerics really like use shields?
I'm double checking. No, the regular clerics. I was looking at Graves rank because I thought it was one of the additional proficiencies that people get.
God for that.
Couldn't remember. I was just checking.
So she can use a shield.
Yes, I'm fucking. It's fine.
Thank God for that.
I mean, literally, what is this? It's looks nice.
It's a massive white dragon scale. You will find that the cold will not bother you anyway while wearing it.
The cold never bothered me anyway. You're giving me the shield. You're going to let it go.
I am going to let it go. I don't need it
Does
anymore.
it go? It doesn't feel like you want to let it go. You want to give it over.
Yeah, so you'll find that, cold has little to no effect at all. If someone were to strike you and I am not available, the shield can lash out for you. Just like that. Just does it for you. You can also, if you really dislike someone once a day, make sure that they can't do anything properly for a good few hours. And the last bit is fine. I just flat out won't tell you that bit because I kind of want the shield back.
You do know how to treat a woman.
Yeah, well, gotta make sure you've got the best.
Thanks, honey. All right, so staff, shield.
Hello.
So, are we leaving now, or we just don't like them because it's getting into dark? Are we leaving now, or?
Oh yeah, one more thing. I'm going to give the ring of X-ray vision to Leela.
Okay.
The only other thing I thought of was I did say something about trying to find particularly weapons that will work underwater.
Did you include an armory in the keep, Asher?
No.
Even if you did,
There are weapons in Foundling's room, actually. There are monk weapons.
But they wouldn't be magic weapons, which we would need, I expect.
No, man. No, I didn't put an armory in there. We carry a small armory around with us. I mean, we are on Jorvik territory, and there is like a lot of commanders outside that probably have some weapons.
Make some sleight of hand checks.
No, I reckon if you fought one of them, they'd probably give you it.
I mean, you are also in the main port and fishing part of Alpine. Odds are the sea elves will have something that is beneficial.
Can we take an hour or two to try and find some stuff?
Make an investigation check.
Uh, 24.
Okay. It doesn't take that long for you to go and round up essentially things like crossbows, tridents, spears, short swords, things that are available to be used underwater. They're all basic, though.
Yeah.
So they'll let you have the lot for 20 gold.
I'll take the lot for 20 gold.
Okay. So in that you have got 2 short swords, 3 tridents, 3 spears, That's it.
2 short swords, 3 tridents, 3 spears.
Yes. They still will have some
those
sort of
are-
defense. Okay. They are available for people to take as they so wish.
No, I'm taking Shadowfang into every battle from now on.
Leela's got a crossbow, so she's okay. Also, bear in mind, anyone that uses ranged weapons, they will miss beyond the short range increment, regardless of whether you've got something like sharpshooter.
It's fine.
Yeah, you melee.
Crucial got a spear and like.
Yep.
I will take one of the weapons just in case.
Maybe a spear. I don't know if you're proficient with the other ones.
That's probably fair. I'll take a spear.
I will take a trident because I'm actually at least slightly curious to know how well it works.
Basic tridents. Fanling is fine. Fanling has got a swim speed, so it doesn't have to worry about it. Cruz has got a spear. Kafina doesn't use weapons, and Asher has a big sword.
I'm swole as fuck. I'll just swing harder.
I'm not sure you've ever fought with a greatsword, have you?
I think he's swimming harder, but in a confined space.
Yeah. All legs. All right, so with that done, is there anything else you wish to do before you either go to bed or you go off to Fiaros?
All aboard the Illithid banter bus.
Okay. You jump aboard. Who is...
Hang on, we have to stop and paint that on the side now.
Does it have a horn?
No.
It's a shame. I want to pull off like, and then just.
People tend to see it coming because it's big and unusual.
Then why do things still get hit by trains? Hmm?
Because trains go fast.
Yeah, this goes
This
fast.
travels through space.
To be fair, things still hit the TARDIS.
It's also
Travels
true.
through space and time. Anyway, so yes, so who is piloting it? The same 3 as before?
Unfortunately, yes. Also, someone going to tell Kelotar where we're going.
You have
Is
no way of communicating with Kelotar.
No,
Yeah, that's why I'm addressing the room.
I had a conversation with him and told him we were here.
Right, yeah, but we're not going to be here anymore.
Well, I didn't know that at the time. And he asked.
Should we go and
He asked.
Should we go and
would
pick
do.
Kelotar up from Channel Point with the ship? It'd only take a second.
What if we? Oh, if we blinked there, you mean?
Yeah.
I mean,
There's no cooldown on it, is there, right? We can do this as many times as we like.
Yeah, it takes a minute to do it. Basically, when you're on the ship, combat rounds last a minute rather than 6 seconds because it takes longer for things to do. But yeah, in the space of a few minutes, you can teleport.
We could blink there, pick him up.
You do have to stop into a different plane of existence first. It's not a teleport; it's a plane shift.
Blinking.
Yeah.
So you have to go
Yeah,
to.
but all the visionaries are here now, so the other plane should be fine.
Apart from
In
the
theory.
usual dangers.
Yeah, I mean the usual dangers, but
Okay.
That's
So,
just-
I mean this is completely up for debate. Don't just put this all on me. Like,
No,
we wanna leave that fucker there,
no,
we're
2
fine.
minutes.
if we want to leave him in Channel
Um,
Point, I am also okay with
Can't
that.
Fee cast a spell or something?
Yes, yeah, I know how to cast plane shift now.
No, sorry, I mean message.
No.
Is this the thing we always get confused and think you can do?
We always get confused, yeah.
Yeah, my bad.
Christina was able to do it through some
Yeah.
trickery because we didn't read the spell list properly.
Yeah, no, it's my bad. We have this conversation, I think, like every time.
Yes, we do.
I have returned.
I don't mind doing that.
So we're going to go and pick up Kelotar, yeah?
That makes sense. And as this ship flies, if we have to stop into another plane, we should do one where there aren't likely to be many flying things. So maybe Earth rather than air. Or there was that one we went to where it was just snowy and icy and
We've
nothing
never
seemed to be
been
around.
plane of Earth. I think it needs to be somewhere with the people going are familiar with, at least one of them.
I mean, this thing is from the astral plane. Like, it kind of fits in there the most.
Yeah. Where in the astral plane
We did leave a rather annoyed worm thing in the astral plane. There was the empty plane we went to that was full of snow and ice with vague things under ice.
Yeah, the Kraken. Yeah.
But that's underwater and we'd be in the air.
Hmm. When's that ever stopped any of Luke's monsters?
So long as we...
It's a flying Kraken.
as long as we actually
Flying
have a
thief.
It's a Flacken.
A helicraken.
Individual tentacles just spinning like
We're
blade.
gonna need a bigger boat.
Oh, drone kraken.
That's something Leela makes when we kill it. She's gonna stuff it and then fly it. I'm gonna throw it.
No, it's just well, there aren't any big trees there. Otherwise, you've got spider kraken.
I vote for the astral plane.
Yes, I second that.
Okay.
All right then. As
Tom's
you,
got his look on.
It's better than appearing underwater or in the middle of a volcano or, I don't know, surrounded by
Yeah,
icy
grass.
things.
I was vaguely wondering about the plane where we found you, but I think that might have been some kind of hell,
Pretty sure it was. Yeah, I'm not very trusted.
some kind of budget, badly spelled hell.
the letter's fallen off the end.
Yeah. Maybe not a good idea to go places where Armageddon matters and dead gods are wandering around and things.
Fine. Astral plane. If the worm has come back, you can just send it away again.
Well, with that spell, we're actually able to pick a location we know of. Correct me if I'm wrong, though, Luke. I think we're able to try and at least pick the place.
It's not the spell; it's the ship.
Right, but I thought it just...
The ship's instruction is that you can transport to a place that you have been to, and that you know. One of the pilots knows. It's not a... You can't do like... The plane shift says you can choose a specific location, such as the city of Brass, and you could go there. You have to have actually been there in order to teleport there.
Yeah, but, I mean, technically you just said it's the same anyway, because it's a place that one of the drivers has gone. So as we just pick a different place other than where the worm was in the astral plane.
I feel like we're arguing for no reason.
Can we go to the astral plane, please?
Let's...
You can pick the spot in the astral plane that you want to go to. You can choose to go to where the dead dragon temple is.
I
mean,
would like to go to where the dragon exploded. Because there shouldn't be anything there for miles.
Tom's going, please, God, no.
I was pulling the exact same expression you were, Matt.
Of
No, that's fine.
Okay.
So
So
we last saw that dragon in the bag.
Didn't
And
you say it was
we
a
know that
bigger dragon in
the
the
loot
bag?
cache wasn't anywhere near there.
Didn't you say it was a bigger dragon in the bag?
Fucking huge. I'd really like not to think about it, really. Considering I'm still holding this bag, which I feel like at some point when a visionary's like, "We have you cornered," I just want to be like, "Oh fucking dude!" Just open dragon attack.
I don't think it's a Pokeball.
I choose
I
Dragon.
say, I choose
You
dragon.
activated my trap, the reflecting power of mirror force.
Dear.
Oh.
Anyway,
I kind of
so-
want to be given that bag now, just so I can try to deflect missiles and catch them in the bag.
I'd like to go to the astral plane, please.
So, first of all, to take control of the ship, I need for Asher, Kafina, and Leela to make intelligence saving throws. That's fine.
+7. Okay.
Asher,
18.
Kafina.
Right.
Okay. So, you reach out, and it seems that Leela's tinkering has made it a lot easier for you to connect your minds to it. There doesn't appear to be the same psychic backlash. And you start sort of going into each other's thoughts again. You can feel each other in that area. You have the rapid fire memories that are Leela's consciousness. Where you sort of take a moment and just stabilize and push it away a little bit. But then you choose a location for you to plane shift off to.
Where the dragon went boom boom.
Okay, you focus and the ship blinks out of existence, reappearing on the astral plane.
I would now immediately like to start thinking about Channel Point.
Okay, you are the only one that has been to Channel Point. You have been to Channel Point on the Fiaros side.
Yep, that'll do.
Okay. You concentrate.
I'll fly it the rest of the way.
And ship appears over the top of Channel Point.
How far away are the two channel points? Remind me.
About 80 miles, wasn't it?
4 miles, wasn't it?
About 4-ish miles.
It was very small.
Can I see
Probably.
this giant blimp arrive?
From 4 miles away, no.
Depends. It depends if the blimp arriving has any, opens up a portal in the sky. And
No, it literally just folds out on itself.
Oh, yeah.
Make a perception check. Why not?
Roll well.
No, not acrobatic. Perception.
Yes.
Oh, it's not good. Not as good as the others.
Of all of them.
27.
Okay. Kelotar, you have been spending your morning swearing and damning everyone of your party because they have left you alone and not contacted you again.
The half a cow?
And the half a cow, which is sort of you've paid a significant deposit to get the half cow taken away from your hotel room.
Gosh.
I mean, you've had to pay quite a substantial amount on this hotel anyway, because there is essentially tent city outside both sides of the of Channel Point. But you just sort of stood on the balcony, just making sure there aren't any final bloodstains for you to complain about, so that will put off this evening's conquest. You do look up and you do see way off in the distance sort of a rugby ball shaped thing in the sky.
Can I deduce what it might be? Or have any idea?
Make an intelligence check. You get to do jack of all trades.
Oh, great. So that's what? Oh, okay. So that makes it possible. Oh, 13.
No, I don't think anyone actually told you you had an airship.
I think Asher did.
Maybe.
But no kind of
you can't.
great detail.
You've got no idea what it looks like.
Just look at this thing and go, I don't know.
As you say that, you just feel something drip down the back of your neck. As a pile of fish just descends on you, half digested. On a fish.
I mean, not if it's been inside of you, but...
Well, I don't have hands. What do I have a different voice? Batman.
Sound is softer.
I've been eating fish. It does that to my voice.
Fair enough. I look for the nicest looking fish.
Make an investigation check.
Trying to eat it, not fuck it.
I'm looking at the wrong page.
The only way for him to undo the fish having been inside the dragon is for him to then be inside the fish.
27.
27? That seems to be a fairly nice salmon.
So I pick it up.
Okay.
I shake it off.
Okay. You eat a raw, slightly acidic salmon. I mean, it's fine. It's raw, but it's okay.
It's food.
Kelotar has invented sushi.
Yes! Canon. He hasn't descaled the fish though, so that's going to cost him dearly at some point.
There's a thing stuck in my tooth. Oh, scale.
Once you finish digging around with my dinner, do you want to see what that is?
I might as well take what you want and let's go.
Climb on. Take off and you start flying closer to the airship. Those of you who are piloting, after it gets to around 60 feet, actually no, probably around the 120 foot mark, you start to sense that there is something flying towards you. Vaguely dragon shaped.
Well,
Battle station.
the phase cannon.
Ramming speed.
We can't see, can we?
No.
No. Oh, if I can't see it,
although there are windows around this area, there is nothing on the outside of the sky skin that is there that can let you see it.
I may be mind linked, but can I ask one of the others to go and have a look?
You may do so.
Sure, no worries. I will go up to the top.
You go up to the top.
I'll go with Cedric again.
Okay, you go up there. And you see a young black dragon flying towards you.
There's a dragon on the way. Get ready.
Should we? Do we shoot it or not?
Dragons are usually bad, so yes.
There's a handy sound speaker horn that that Leela installed as a communication device that sort of passes down through the ship's interior and connects to the captain's room, so that you can just basically a big tube with a funnel.
What should we do?
I arm the guns.
You aim the psychic cannons.
I aim the psychic cannon.
Do I see the cannons?
No, they're inside.
Yeah, that's what I feared.
We wait until it makes an aggressive maneuver first.
I draw my longbow and prepare to shoot.
Draw the longbow and prepare to shoot. Both of you make perception checks.
So I will study to see if I can.
Ooh.
But
I mean, Cedric's going to put me to shame, but that's still an 18.
27.
But if it wasn't a 1, that's the main thing.
both of you notice that there is someone on the back of this black dragon.
He has a friend. He's definitely increased in threat.
We work off NATO rules. Only fire when fired upon.
No, there's someone riding the dragon. Could it be Kelotar?
No, Kelotar doesn't have a dragon.
With your perception, you do see that it is a mint green half-orc.
It looks a lot like Kelotar, so maybe we should just fire the cannon once.
As I get closer, I
say just now. Didn't Lyra say just now that they had a very skilled doppelganger? I'm about to turn this orc into Swiss orc.
I stop full now.
Yes.
And I just kind of raise my arms and go.
It's gesturing. You must be casting a spell.
He's doing the secret signal.
That's the ship.
Shouting,
underneath.
Kiss me. Kiss me.
Never mind. I think this dragon's broken.
The dragon pulls up short and the ship just passes underneath it.
That was
ramming speed.
Kelotar, is that you?
Do I hear that?
Yes.
Yes?
It's Kelotar, don't shoot.
Do we have a loading bay? Can we open the loading bay and do a mid-air pickup?
I missed
No, it's a blimp, not an airship from the Avengers. It's a shield helicarrier.
Wait, this can't go under the water?
Oh,
the lamest ship ever.
It can go underwater. It may not go well for you.
No, is that just called crashing?
Yeah. There is a spot. There is basically the platform that the Elder Brain would have sat on that Foundling and Cedric used as a lookout post that the dragon could sit on. But you can't go inside. Sorry?
Can you not get inside?
No. Not whilst you're moving.
Oh, no. Right.
In flight, you know, once you've landed, you can open up a section and let him in. But
All right, we'll descend and let him in.
Okay, you descend. At this point, though, you are over water.
Well, I will descend at a suitable location.
Right, you sort of set down just north of Channel Point.
Yeah.
The dragon climbs its way in and sits, looking very confused at this hentai ship you seem to have with you.
Whoa, 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 whoa!
I just
That's
put my
way
hand
over the 30-kilogram luggage allowance, Kelotar.
I put my hand on full mount and just go, don't worry, I'm as confused as you are.
That's all right then.
We stole this from some illithids in the astral plane. It can go between planes and lets us get from place to place much faster.
Of course. Why didn't I think of that?
Because it's incredibly dangerous and risky.
I repeat, why didn't I think of that?
It's actually all Lyra's idea to bring us here on this. So.
We have agreed. We've decided on a plan of going to investigate Solvisa and try to deal with the threat there. Are you in?
You're going to Solvisa. You're not going to Channel Point. As I was
we are at
expecting.
Channel Point.
The wrong fucking one.
That's why we're here.
We were on our way. You interrupted us.
I believe Asher.
Make an insight check.
We were on our way. It's a truthful statement.
Whether it's truthful or what the intention is might be.
28.
28? I mean, telling some of the truth. There was an intent to come here at some point.
Yeah, we were going to come.
Kelotar,
Changed since then, but
we've sent an entire fleet to Channel Point. They will be here in
3 weeks.
About 3 weeks, but they have to sail past Solrisa.
I mean,
I feel like we might need. Sorry?
that makes perfect planning sense. I'm just amazed that they didn't move sooner.
I'm afraid we've come to the conclusion we can't send messages to you if you're apart from us.
No, I did notice that.
You are quite handy to have around.
the highest
thank you.
compliments. Your grandfather once said, you're quite handy to have around. You are inspired, Kelotar.
Whoa, I haven't, what, a D6?
C4.
Oh, D4. So, this is Fulmar. Some of you might remember him.
Wasn't he the one who said that he was going to eat me? No, he was going
No,
to eat
that was
Hannah.
his dad. And that was Anna.
He just sort of looked up at the dragon and goes, wow, it's a big dragon. He's not as big as the big one we fought last time, though, whilst we were in space. And this is like a much smaller dragon. It's much darker, though. It's just like different types of dragon. There are all sorts of different dragons. I like this. I've never really seen these before.
I get down on my knee and I go, you're a fascinating little one, aren't you?
Oh, thanks. I'm Leela. Hi.
Nice to meet you. My name's Kelotar.
Leela, Odessa, Tanyana, Turin. But you can call me Leela. Leela with 3 E's. Or Odessa. Or Tanyana. Or Turin.
I start thinking about the astral plane again.
I'm going to go and the dragon because I think it might be the intelligent conversation I'm going to get.
I start thinking about how I can get a cabin as far away from Kelotar's as possible to avoid hearing the noises.
What noises?
The noises. Kelotar and Cruz hooking up.
There's a...
Oh, no, that would really would be weird.
Kelotar, have you met our new friend, Cruz? Have you met this guy? It's kind of tall and feathery.
Yes,
you're not-
converse with each other, please.
Very good way of making friends. If you speak to these individually, you might have to have a one-on-one basis for a watch.
The party's changed somewhat since I was last here. I mean, the most remarkable thing is that Asha still has her head. Despite the fact that, Nawali, you're here as well.
Yeah.
Sorry,
I found the solution to us being apart for long periods of time, and that's to bring her into the battlegrounds with us and forge our relationship through the fires of battle. I read it once in a book and it sounded very, very good.
We're going to have a conversation about the beheading, though.
Oh, it happens.
Oh, by the way, Kelotar,
Kelotar means losing your head. It happens. Kelotar simply meant that you lose your head, as in we sometimes used to go to the bar together and lose our heads.
Deception check at disadvantage.
Fuck! Roll average.
21.
Fuck!
Oh no, it was a disadvantage, wasn't it?
Yes.
Hang on. 20. It's a 15
all right.
16.
All right, then. If that's what it means.
That's exactly what it means.
by the way, Kelotar, don't be too alarmed to see this, and I'll draw Mithralis.
I step about 4 paces away from Lyra at this point.
Okay, as you do, you fall backwards down the stairs.
I kind of deserve that. The last time I came near that sword, bad things happened, so...
I'm glaring at Kelotar. Don't even.
Why have you got that sword? The last time I saw it, it was... Well, we know exactly where it was.
Mithralis does say at this point, do feel free to pass on my apologies for that. I just did what I was... Well, I'm an item. I can't exactly control my actions. I'm rather sharp, you may have noticed.
Can we all hear that, or...?
No, just Lyra.
All right.
I really wanted everyone to be able to hear that. Like, what the fuck?
So, when we were fighting the great big dragon in the astral plane, Ulrion was there and fought the dragon with us after it turned on him. He, I'm pretty sure, was killed during the fight. But if it's any consolation, the blade says it's sorry.
Well, I'm glad the blade is sorry. Sorry. All respect to the blade and thank you for the apologies and everything, but
Tell him he's welcome.
He's welcome. You're welcome. I'm getting very confused.
Ulrion was fighting with us.
So was I, technically.
With...
He fought very well as well, I must say.
The dragon, when the dragon saw us, it assumed that we had followed him.
We didn't help that either. We did shout that he was the one who led us there.
Did we?
Yes.
Yeah, I did. Yeah, it didn't help him.
I think you did.
And the dragon tried to obliterate him with nasty fire breath, which he survived, but after that, fought with us against dragon.
When Lyra says blasting with horrible fire breath, I just look at Fulmar. Go, yeah, that sounds about right for a dragon.
Don't lump us in with the fire breathers.
I would never do such a thing.
Uh,
Such an insult.
Is that mental or is it in draconic?
No, it was said out loud.
No, it was said out loud.
In common.
This was in common.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't have a link with him, unfortunately.
No, there isn't a bond.
This was not a red dragon or any other that breathes just fire. This was a void dragon.
An ancient void dragon.
Yeah.
I don't know anything about void dragons.
Make a history
I
check.
can show you one if you want.
Don't take her up on that.
Yes, you do. You've heard stories about this. You've encountered one. You encountered a young void, adult void dragon. True.
I was actually at that.
Yeah, you weren't there for the wormling that you came across at one point, but you were there for the adult.
Because I was there for the race loot. Yep. Or the fly loot.
Sky loot. Sky Maul.
I don't know if the black dragon would have heard of a void dragon.
seems to acknowledge the presence of a void dragon, but hasn't really said anything.
So,
Sorry, what's the dragon's name? We've heard it. It's
Fulmar.
Fulmar. Fulmar, are you traveling with us now, or?
With him, technically. Glares at Kelotar.
hey,
Do I gather he seems unhappy about this?
Make an insight check.
hey, I asked if your father would come. He was not willing. He offered you. You didn't have to come. I could have taken one of your other brothers.
It's a 16.
16. It seems that there is a tenuous relationship that is between the two of them. Ross fucks with me slightly.
I sent him a link to something, and then I saw him looking at his phone. Was like, "It's not important. Don't read this. Stop looking," because he kept looking down every time I sent a message. So just full on troll. Sorry.
I'm very grateful that you agreed to come with me, and I definitely couldn't have got to where we got without you.
My wing still hurts.
Well, now we're in a flying ship. You don't have to fly for a bit.
Yay. Where are we going anyway?
Apparently, Solrisa.
Well, technically, we're going to the astral plane again.
You're already there, because you started concentrating on that about 10 minutes ago.
Oh, good. Well, then I would like to now start thinking about Solrisa.
Okay.
Oh shit.
Specifically, where in Solrisa?
That's not
If I
fair.
could,
You're not there. You're not thinking about it, Lyra. This is Asher's thought process.
hang on.
I'm asking
I think
Asher.
He was thinking about it too.
Hold on.
Jared done
I
research.
need to know what Asher is thinking first. Kathina and Leela will also have an opportunity to interject, but I need to know what's happening first.
I would like to think about the middle ground, which I'm sure we have walked in between Nexus and Solrisa.
Okay, so you're aiming for the path in between the two.
Path.
Okay. You have walked it once, a long time ago, but yes, you have walked there.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure we walked it.
All right. You concentrate and think of the area, Kathina. Do you object to this at all?
No, yeah, I had the same sort of thought. The path leading out of Solrisa, certain distance, so I'll be thinking close to the same position.
Okay. The three of you you two converge your thoughts on this one. You pick a location. You think, oh yes, that tree. And you blink out of the plane and reappear near Solrisa, halfway between Solrisa and Nexus. Which, of course, none of you can see because you're all inside.
Down, please. I would like to.
You did appear virtually at ground level because you were thinking about the space that was on the ground. So you have essentially appeared and docked.
Perfect.
Not very inconspicuous if we pop into the air and like, right, now let's park it and hide it. But
As we get lowered. Vehicle is lowering.
Please mind the gap.
Please mind
The
your head.
landing area.
Can we now go somewhere and see where we are?
Yep.
Step outside the ship, and you are halfway between Nexus and Solrisa. Make a perception check, everyone.
Ooh.
Everyone. Ooh.
All three of them.
All three of you.
Yeah.
Are you rolling the dragon as well?
I can do, unless you want to.
Oh, especially. I've got enough to worry about.
Ooh. Ooh. Dragon. Yeah, that's right.
Jesus Christ. Okay.
I need to build a connection with the dragon. Cool.
I'm just putting your extras.
I mean, just an actual connection. But...
Yeah. Kathina?
8.
Kelotar Cruz? Fulmar? We'll come back to you.
Fulmar was a 6.
Okay.
24 for Cruz.
Yep.
And a 22 for Kelotar.
Okay. Lyra?
28.
Family?
19.
Asher?
21.
Cedric.
Only a 22 for me as well.
Okay, so apart from Kafina, Fulmar, and actually no, Foundling actually, because it's just beyond the range, DC-20. You can see the now setting sun glinting off the light coming from the bubble. Oh, sorry, so off in the distance. There's a sort of a weird pattern that's coming off on the far side. And behind you, there is in Nexus, you can just see the silhouette of a massive tree growing out of the middle of the city.
That wasn't there the last time we saw it.
Yes,
Why are we?
what? You saw it?
Oh yeah, when I saw it, yeah.
Yeah.
But actually kind of in the city.
It wasn't the city. It grew out of the city. That's part of the thing that you saw when you did your flyby.
I mean,
yeah.
Maybe he was talking as Cruz.
He wasn't. It was the wrong accent.
right?
I'm trying to help. I'm just trying to help him out here.
No, he fucked up. Let him own it.
Tom, we're here because we heard that it had been flooded, and I guess that was the indication as to where all the sea-bound units are.
We talked about going to the Grove as a place to. That's where we're likely to find friends, and there's a good place for us to set off from if we're going to Saurisa. Here we're right between two invasion spots.
I thought we were just going straight to Saurisa, and an approach from the sea would have been a very bad place to have come from. And from the back, no one's going to expect us to be here.
Unless they see the giant balloon coming towards them.
I still wouldn't think most people would think that was us. And we wouldn't.
I will interject that Nexus and Saurisa are about a day's travel apart. About 2 or 3 days travel apart from each other. So at this point, you are a day away from Saurisa.
It doesn't matter if they know it's us. They'll see something big and unexpected flying towards them. They'll raise the alert.
No, we'd walk. We'd leave the blimp here.
On the road.
Whoa.
A
Does it
day's
matter?
travel away with your loved one inside.
Well, I didn't say we were going to leave her inside.
We also haven't said love yet. That's a whole other conversation.
And you could have changed the direction of the ship at any point, Kafina. We had a mental discussion about this, and you agreed.
Thrown under the bus.
Stop throwing me
I
under the
was
bus,
aiming-
I'll throw it back.
You just throw the bus.
Was aiming to go for the Saurisa.
I mean, we can just go back to the Grove if you want.
I mean, it sounds like a plan.
If there might be friends
Everyone
there,
agree with
they-
Lyra?
they might be willing to act as a guard for the ship.
I think it's a better location than this. I mean, anyone could come across us from either place, and we're.
I stomp back onto the ship. Fine, I will.
I turn around and I say in the comic to Fulmar, I guess I was wrong about where we were going. Plans have changed. Not my plans.
At least we got a distant look at 2 of the locations. That dome is rather big. Now, I'm not the most magically inclined, but it seems to me creating and sustaining something that large would take a considerable amount of magic. Agreed?
No, wrong down.
Agreed. The giant ship on top probably
Yes.
is the first port of call for that.
Good pun. Good pun.
So yes.
Ships first port.
They,
How big is the dome?
It's about a mile high and about 5 miles across.
Cool.
Join the high club.
Yeah.
yes,
Kelotar's intention anyway.
the cults are crazy, but they're not stupid. They wouldn't be expending so much magic without a purpose. Didn't you say that your vision also showed fire and flames coming out of the contrivance?
Yeah. Yeah, and
Amazing.
we already know that someone has got hold of our bag.
So maybe the ones from the 4 elemental planes need some kind of contact with their element. That's not a problem for the air or earth elementals, but the fire and water ones have had to change the terrain to something more suited to them. if we could disrupt or destroy the bubble, and when we get to the contrivance, find a way of putting out the fires, that may make things a lot harder for the invaders.
Well, I suppose we'd probably have to get there and have a look first to see what was going.
So De Grove and then
De Grove and then back to Sorisa.
Off towards Sorisa.
Back on the ship.
Okay. You hop back onto the ship. Noel says, "Didn't you say before actually you had a way of fast traveling though? Would it not be wise to do a sort of scouting mission before?"
I was going to ask if we could use Gundamir to wind walk and have a little look around, but the team's consensus is that we should go to De Grove.
You can do two things. You can go there and then come back once you've looked, I suppose, if you must. I don't know. It's all, I'm just ship sitting, apparently.
We could split the party. Those who need to pilot the ship can take it to De Grove, while the rest of us can wind walk and take a look around.
That is an option.
How long does Gundamir stay with us when you summon him?
That's a great question.
Hour?
For an hour.
He lasts for an hour, but he does disappear if you stop concentrating on him. And you have to concentrate to wind walk.
Right. Okay, but there goes my plan of getting Gundamir, Leela, and Nuala to fly the ship off towards the Grove.
Maybe we can. The wind walk is like ridiculously fast, isn't it?
It's 300 feet. You're basically traveling at 10 times your normal speed.
We could just spend literally an hour here and go and do some scouting.
Yes, we need to remember we are visible while we do that.
It is getting dark.
The sun is setting.
Remind me, how far away is De Grove from?
Grove from Sorisa in a straight line is about 4 or 5 days. Okay. But there's no path there. So generally the route from Sorisa to the Grove is via Nexus. And that usually takes about a week to travel.
And the ships will be in range within a week.
Well, that's the walking path if you go via Nexus. Obviously, you can go direct towards the Grove, or from the Grove to Sorisa, which you have done before. Go cross country, yeah. But again, you can wind walk, and then you cut down that problem.
I'm confused. Why are we going to De Grove?
Because it's a safer place for the ship to be than here in the middle of two cities which are invasion points.
It's about, I will stand on top of the ship and survey the land to see if there's anywhere we could hide this thing.
Make a perception
and
check.
Hide it well. I'm going to add.
Make a perception check.
One was a 1, but luckily. So we are on it's a 10, a 25.
Looking around, there are a few hills that you could potentially sort of slot it in between. None of the trees are really tall enough to be able to hide the ship itself.
Yeah.
The alternative would be to take it up and leave it up in the sky.
Yes.
At a at a decent height, so that no one could target it unless they were flying, which would be unlikely from this particular area.
Yes.
We'd need 3 people to get it back to that height that can then relatively safely get back down.
Well, no, because if you could wind walk, you could fly.
Yes.
Fly into the ship. Or go up and then leave Nuala or whoever.
I've got a technical question, so I don't know if Leela or someone else maybe Fee can answer this. if we pilot the ship upwards, does it just stay there, or does someone have to always be in control of it?
No, we can leave it. It'll just float there. Someone tells us what to do. I mean, it's quite intelligent how it works, really. It just works on how you psychically want to do. If you tell it to stay somewhere, we can just leave it there, and it'll stay there until someone comes and takes over it again. And then they'll move it away, and then we'll just step there.
My God, she talks a lot.
She talks. She talks a lot, yes. How
But
much she says.
It sounds like most of it makes sense.
Thanks.
Thanks. Hey, us green folks have to look after each other.
Oh, I'm not normally green. I'm only green because Cedric. I died, and Cedric brought me back, and I came back slightly different. And he was very apologetic about it. But sometimes I'm green, and I don't like. I'm not necessarily fond of being green. Apparently, wearing this makes me sometimes look like a slut. But I don't really want to be.
I mean, that sounds like a Cedric thing. What? When you died, what were you?
I was a gnome. I was a rock gnome, technically. So I was like, I'm really good at making little tiny things. Look, I made this. And she just picked up this like little clockwork fire starter. And I made this, and I can take it apart, and I can turn it into this difficult thing. It turns into like a little pop-up frog, which then twists, and it just jumps in her hands.
Yes, that sounds like an unfortunate Cedric thing that can happen.
Yeah.
And it's something I just miss.
I did what I could. I did my best.
And I'm sure you did, Cedric.
Oh, it's okay. I don't really mind as long as I'm alive. I just prefer being alive to being dead, really. Although I did go and I did meet a really nice guy when I was up there. I met a few nice people. I met that god. What was her name? Family. We went up there and we had a chat. We had tea. We had really nice cakes and had a conversation.
Athena.
Yeah, we met Athena. She was a really nice lady. She had a lot of information that she could give us. She gave us a lot of stuff, and I had some really good books. Like, I can do this. She cast you just cast spell, her little cantrip. Look, I can levitate. Just a mage hand appears and just lifts her up a little.
Once this is all over, you and I are going to have a chat.
Oh, you seem very nice. I'm not really into that sort of thing. Depends on what sort of chat you mean, I suppose. Are we just having a conversation about things, or are we talking about, people have talked about your reputation,
What kind of orc do you take me for?
Asher did tell me to stay away.
I just look at Asher. Nothing like that. I just want to kind of get to know you a bit better and just hear pretty much everything you've got to say.
Deceiving?
That could take a while.
No, I'm not deceiving.
Okay. Oh, okay. I can have a conversation about that. Yeah, I've got all sorts of things I can talk to you about. I can talk to you about my favorite cakes. I can talk about the time I went to space, and I went all these things. You've got dragon.
No, don't rush yourself. There'll be plenty of time once this is all over.
Okay.
I go back to just staring at Asher. Right?
I start thinking about the astral plane again.
Right, so you're going back to the astral plane. You're not just doing the straight up thing.
Apparently, the Grove is the place to be, where there are allies. And what? You said you wanted to go? You said there's allies.
This is how
there.
our party ends, by the way. Fighting. We're just
how
like
God.
kind of invasion.
Well, fuck it.
I'm all for allies. I just didn't know that there would be allies there.
Would I know
Yes.
if we would be better off hiding this thing up in the air somewhere or taking it to the Grove?
Make an intelligence check.
Not so far.
No. Why would it be survival?
I don't know. Just not intelligence.
Our survival.
11.
11. You've not been to the Grove for a long time. The last time you went to the Grove, there was that very unhelpful person who kept thinking about a sinkhole.
Fucking sinkhole! Okay. Doesn't really help.
I mean, no.
Damn.
It depends on what you want to do. Like if you want to go and scout, then probably your best solution is to go up and go from here because it's a shorter travel time than if you went to Grove, went to scout, and then sort of did your thing based there. It's it's up to you guys. I just want to know what's going on. As do we all, I think.
Go straight up. That seems fine to me.
Yeah, sounds good.
Do you think up, or do you start thinking of the astral plane? You go up. Okay, you start floating up, taking the ship maybe a mile, mile and a half up. So you're at a sensible point. And you feel that you can't really see any individual creatures moving around on the ground.
So,
Would you like to walk now?
I mean, if we
Now
drop
seems
down
good.
for the-
Is there still enough light for it to be useful?
Think so? It's like twilight. Is it like it is now outside the window right this second?
No, because it's closer to it's closer to winter than it is now. So it's probably a fair bit dark. It's about the same. Actually, no. Actually, thinking about the timing, time you take to get here, conversations. You're probably looking at around. Yeah, probably around. You are getting around dusk, late dusk.
Okay.
Or about
So we were
6-ish.
saying later than that.
No, I was thinking possibly it was earlier. I think time difference.
Actually, it's fine. I've got dark vision. I always forgot.
Yes, Cedric doesn't have dark vision. Neither does Kafina.
Yeah, but Cedric can see everything anyway.
There is that.
Also, I do have the dark vision spell. So.
Okay.
Right. Okay.
Yes,
Shall we
let's
do this
go.
then? I will give my ring a rub.
Okay. You rub the ring.
And then, hello, Gondomir.
As you say that, you're used to this being instantaneous.
Uh-oh.
He's on the pooper.
No.
You wait a moment,
No
you
worse.
sort of look concerted, and then the sort of continual spiral of wind that is within the ring very slowly starts to drift out.
Uh-oh.
Didn't we give Gundamir the orb?
We did, yes.
Okay.
As the thing starts to form, into materialize into the fully fledged form of Gundamir, he is unconscious, missing his left arm, and badly wounded. And that is where we're going to take a break.
Oh shit!
Oh dear.
So we'll take a break. We'll come back in 15 minutes to pick that up from there. And we are back. So, as Gundamir lies there, he is unconscious, and his arm does appear to be bleeding.
I'm still as unprepared for this as I was before.
I will cast Healing Word at first level.
Okay, you cast healing word. Roll the. What do you say to Gundamir?
It's all right, buddy. We've lost you.
Is it a 7?
No,
No.
it's the opposite end. It's a it's a 6.
No,
So
I wasn't. I
roll
forgot what
one.
your charisma modifier was. I thought it was a 1. Gundamir sort of. Oh, that is most.
Some kind of medicine check or some kind of check to try and kind of staunch the bleeding.
Make a medicine check. I mean, the healing word has staunched it a little bit, but make a medicine check.
I will assist.
Yeah, actually.
With help, family is helping you.
Okay. Slightly worse. So it's a 22.
All right, you
Or
grab
16 or 14.
grab some shirts and just take it up and start wrapping it around with a bit like This is most unfortunate.
You're safe.
That's a gem that you gave me. It's exploded about. I don't really remember. I was studying it a little bit, and there was a swirling wind inside, and
The gem exploded.
next thing I knew, I was on the floor. Something fell on my arm, and now I'm here.
Where you're
I'll be.
above the path between Solrisa and Texas.
Oh, that's all right then. He just sort of looks like he's about to pass out again.
Whoa. Just kind of
Oh,
stay with me, big guy.
oh, that hurts.
I did it as lightly as I could.
I'm sorry, you summoned me for something. Do you need some magic doing?
I mean, don't worry about it for now. Let's.
What can we do to help you?
More to the point.
Means this is a problem. He just raises his stump.
I'm not aware if any of us have the necessary magic to grow that back.
I need some sleep. These sorts of things do take it out of you.
Well, if you rest up, well, we may call on you later, but we don't want to overstress you.
Oh, it's okay. It's my purpose in life is to assist the one who calls me. What I'm bound to the ring anyway. So he leans up on his other arm and
Surely it is
sits up.
the job of those that you are tied to look after you as well.
But
Is your home safe?
I don't know. I don't know.
Do you remember seeing anything apart from an explosion and something falling on your arm?
It's like a cyclone. It tore through everything. I just strudel in the oven.
I'm sure you will make a more delicious strudel after all of this nonsense is done with.
Sure. I'm sure I will. Awkwardly goes to move his arm to, actually stretch himself, but the other one doing all available to him.
We will find someone who can help you with your arm.
How long can you stay here? How long can we have you here to rest?
Oh, I can be here for up to an hour. See, Cedric knows he's a good person, Cedric. Beautiful in the bright light. A little bit fungal, but
Is he?
I like
I would like to think if is he just a bit delirious right now?
make an insight check. Actually, no. This will be medicine because this is not necessarily determining his personality. This is determining his state of.
18.
He does appear to be suffering and gibbering from blood loss.
Yes, as expected.
You can sort of see, particularly you and family, as you're looking him over, that his clothes are torn. There are deep cuts across various parts of his body. And whether it looks like that something has, like a glass in a cyclone, or, window factory in a cyclone that's just shattered and just cut into him. Torn apart.
Do I remember seeing something vaguely similar in my flyby?
No, because you didn't get that close to the plane of air invasion. It's far too high and far too dangerous for you to fly around at that point. There are also what look to be electrical burns.
Oh, okay.
At various points across his body, entry and exit.
From the talk with Athena, she did suggest the visionaries we had fought previously weren't truly dead and could return. I wonder if that's what happened. Was it if they were somehow contained within the crystal and then it shattered to release them?
I think it was Healthwager. I'm sorry, I don't remember.
Asher, in your vision, did you remember seeing the Master of Storms where the air invasion was happening?
Gaia's vengeance or Gaia's desire. There were multiple lightning strikes, almost repeated on every second.
But you did not see the Titan directly.
No. I think it's implied.
That's my experience. Sudden lighting changes.
I will. I will cast Healing Word at 3rd level. So I'm good with that.
Okay.
Right. So I find my defaults because I didn't think that far ahead.
Antonio is full druid. Okay, grow his arm back.
Another 11.
Another 11 hit points to Gundam. Okay. So it sits up a little bit. That's much better, thank you.
We are as much in your service as you are in ours.
I'm concerned that after the hour you'll go back and it might be dangerous there still. Is there anything we can do to keep you here?
I mean, if you gave me the order to plane shift myself back here once you had finished with me, then I would have to do that. And then I would return here.
And then how long then be here for the hour?
Oh, no, I would be here for until I return to the elemental plane of air.
Could we use the ship to go back to the plane of air, but in a different location? Somewhere safer, maybe.
Technically, you could. Well, you could go back to the elemental plane of air anywhere that you have been.
Very sorry we left you with that jewel, Gundamir.
Oh, no, it's perfectly fine. I want to know.
Expected.
What? Remind me what time of day it is now-ish?
6-ish in the evening.
Okay.
But it is dark.
We've got a couple days to get the job done, right? Maybe we could spend a little time in this evening just back in the air, elemental plane, making sure Gundamir is okay, because this is basically our fault. So
I agree. Anyone else against that?
Do we want to go now, or do we want to try the scout? Because I've got an idea.
Is it something that can be done in under an hour?
I mean, I was thinking of doing a flyover. Also, really just to see kind of the lay of the land.
Is Gundamir, are you able to cast Windwalk?
I was thinking maybe without taxing Gundamir too much.
Oh, no, it's quite all right. I don't. Windwalk doesn't require me to use both. I don't need both hands. Besides, this hand is magical by itself.
I would also say that if we fly this blimp over and it takes damage, those who are driving it will also take a lot of damage.
I was merely thinking of using my friend here, who can hide a bit better in the night.
You just sort of hear a. You insist.
Hey, it's not guaranteed at this moment.
Can you take additional people?
No more halfling, maybe.
we even close enough? So, would you be able to get there and back in an hour? We look quite far away.
By fly speed, I would not be able to get there.
Okay, that's kind of ruins that plan.
Well, technically, if you wanted to take Cedric does have animal shape capabilities.
I could just. Well, yeah.
That's a possibility. Take him as a mouse or something.
Yeah. Well, the alternative is I just turn into an eagle or whatever, and I just go do it anyway.
But if we can't kind of get there in an hour, that kind of.
It sounds like you'd be safer with Windwalk, even though it inconveniences Gundamir, because you'll definitely have enough time and you'll be harder to notice and hurt. So yeah, I think it's our only option.
Well, it's quite alright. I can cast a spell and I can send you on your way. Just give me a cookie or something, and I can, that'll be fine. At which point Nuala comes over and just lays a fat heel on him.
I was waiting for that.
Kelotar's just been like, Band-Aid? Band-Aid? No, it's just
full blast.
body cast.
Yeah. This goes, let me. Right, that should be. Does that feel better? Oh, thank you, good lady. It's much appreciated.
I turn to Asher and say, kind of quietly, "It's a good one, though."
I heard that. And yes, you did. If you need to go somewhere, then good opportunity for you to do it. I can look after. What was your name? Is it Gundamir? Oh, it's nice to meet you. Ah, Nuala. It's a pleasure. We will be fine here. If you feel strong enough to do this, then you should. It seems like it's your best option. Get some information.
You're not wrong. Remind me, how many people can you cast that on?
I can do it on 10 individuals.
Did you say that if I then Windwalk, I then drop concentration on Gundamir so he disappears?
Whilst you're concentrating on transforming, you become incapacitated, so he would disappear.
So I can't go. That's fine. Well, okay then. I guess you can cast it on everyone, and then at least everyone has the option.
Oh, it's no problem. Oh.
Even Nuala. I think you literally cast it on everyone. There's still like 2 slots left.
2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Not Fulmar.
Yeah, Fulmar can say it.
Yeah.
He needs his rest.
Yes, it's cast on everyone.
2, 3, 4, 5. We can take 6 of us.
Yeah, 6 of you. There's 7 of you there, so
yeah, with Leela.
8 with Leela.
But if Cedric's not coming,
that's true. Cedric's not
I
coming.
can cast it on me anyway, but I won't go. But it's just more.
Oh, fair enough.
What are we going to do about Gundamir disappearing at the end of an hour?
We're going to the elemental plane of air before that happens, so that way he won't disappear.
I start concentrating on.
So we're splitting the party?
Okay.
Yeah, I think some of us, like me and Leela, should stay here in case we need to pilot the ship, while a small group is going with Windwalk to check out Solrisa.
Yes.
Right. If you have to go, we'll meet you back at this location.
Okay. People are Windwalk. Alright, so you head off towards Solrisa.
Oh yeah. Breakneck speed.
Alright, you start flying over. At the speed it takes you, let's see, it's about days travel. You're traveling, you travel at 10% of the time. You would get there. You get to the outskirts of where the massive bubble is. Probably in about less than an hour, easily. In fact, just thinking about it. Bear with us, I make a calculation. Keep this group. Hi. Yeah, you can get there in about 4 to 5 minutes or so. It would get you there to the outskirts. Once you get to the outer edge, I would like everyone to make a perception check. For those of you who do not have dark vision, at disadvantage. Just feet, I believe.
Didn't go.
Oh, I was staying on the ship. with
Oh,
Cedric
wait,
and-
oh my god, I missed that.
I say Kelotar, Fruits,
Kelotar,
Foundling, Lyra,
Asher.
and Asher have all gone.
Okay, fine. Sorry, I missed that. In which case, everyone make a perception check. No one with disadvantage.
One off.
Lyra,
29.
Foundling,
8.
Asher,
20.
natural or total?
Total.
Okay. Cruz, Kelotar,
21 and 20. Sorry,
21, 20. Okay.
unnatural.
As you get closer to this, the bubble is obviously a bit of a distorting figure, and Foundling, you're finding it a little bit tricky to concentrate. The familiar port city for each of you is completely submerged, and for it's horrifying and beautiful all at once. The colours are incredibly distorted. The warmer reds and yellows of the various parts of the city, including the statues to Apollo, appear closer to sort of green and grey as the light has been absorbed in the depths. There are the outer perimeter and the boundary are full of beautifully coloured fish that are just sort of swimming around quite merrily and seem to be completely oblivious to the giant tank that they seem to have found themselves in. There is surprising coral reefs that have started to sprout up in the walkways between the various houses, adding an extra layer of colour and beauty to this. You do see that there are shallow swimming reef sharks, and shallow in this case being relative because of the shape of the things are flying everywhere.
Bag over that.
Yeah, it's relative because it's because of the shape of it. You get the sense that the deeper into the city, which you cannot see the centre of because of the lack of light that has been absorbed in that 2-mile period, is darker. Lyra and Kelotar, Lyra because of your very keen sight, Kelotar because you were here a couple of days ago, you notice that on the outskirts of the city, right at the very lower edge of the ring, there are bands of discoloured grass, fading slowly inwards, getting worse.
Grass, you say?
Yes. So on the ground, the grass seems to be getting more and more discoloured. Obviously, the further you go in.
When you say discoloured, by what?
Make an
Ew!
I mean, presumably salt water.
Ew! Total, it was a 5.
Okay. You have no idea.
But it was a 5.
Okay.
How about an unnatural 20?
From an unnatural 20, it does appear to be that salt water is affecting the grass. However,
Sorry, I thought what you said was brass.
No grass.
the grass.
So that makes a lot more sense.
Yes. Just some brass around the city. No.
Brass bands playing merrily. They've turned the place into Yorkshire.
So essentially, because of the decay of the grass in different points, you do get the sense that the boundary of this bubble has been expanding.
How far?
This point, maybe 10 feet. In a couple of days.
Okay.
10 feet over 2 days.
Ish.
Is it completely going out, or is it just stretching one direction?
It seems to be
Just the whole
well.
thing?
From where you are, you can only see it going in the one direction, but you sort of loop around a little bit. You can see it going.
Okay.
You also notice as you're sort of flying around that there are packs of these creatures that are swimming through. Well, they're doing some sort of sneaking party or something, just looking around for something to eat. They are 8-foot-long creatures with long grey bodies, similar to that of an orca, but a sort of serpentine neck and a seal-like head. Their pectoral fins are replaced with stubby, claw-tipped paws. They sort of look like a combination of a seal and seal cub and some sort of fish.
Okay.
They seem to be swimming around in pairs. With your perception, Lyra, you look deeper into the depths, and you can see that there are what look to be fish-like humanoids riding sharks through the city. With your studies, I would say that you would probably be aware of these being Swahagan. No, they are not those creatures, Tom.
Oh, I'm disappointed now.
Oh, no, sorry. They might be in there somewhere, you just haven't seen them yet.
What about the boat?
Sorry, what?
The boat.
Yeah, that's what I was just
the boat. Okay, as you go up towards the boat, you can see that around the top, as you sort of spending a bit of time looking around the bottom, around the top there is a light lizard that is swirling around, obscuring some parts of the ship itself. I'll say make another perception check, because this is looking over the...
Good test.
I'll do it. That's a natural 20.
A 23 and a 24.
24. Lyra?
16 this time.
Okay. Family?
A 7. Maybe I was wrong about having dark vision. Maybe that's just an error on my shit. I can't see shit.
Okay. Asher, you see in particular, looking through the blizzard, accustomed as you are to looking through snowstorms on ships, there is a giant humanoid creature that is stood on the deck of the ship, wearing white robes and pale purple skin that you can sort of see through the various bits of the blizzard. They're standing there, hands folded behind their back. As you're sort of floating there, they turn and look directly at you. By the way, you see one hand come up and just beckon.
I gesture towards it to the group, and then gesture that it's time to go. He saw me, I see him, we are leaving.
Oh.
Okay.
Bye!
I gesture back to him. Yeah, maybe later. Hold on.
All right, you fly back to the ship. During this time, Gundamir has disappeared. Unless, Kafina, Cedric, are you wanting to do anything during that time?
I mean, I'll just be assisting in kind of like making making Gundamir as comfortable as possible. But I mean, I think he's like pretty well healed and stuff, so I think we are just on standby. Though my expectation was that everyone was meant to be back within the hour before this happened. So
yeah,
I would be concerned that they're not back yet, and be keeping an eye out for them.
Okay, as the hour comes to the end.
Are you sure? Like, I honestly, if the hour's starting to come to the end, why don't we just fly towards them?
Who's still on the ship? Is it just you and me?
You, Nuala,
and
dragon.
And a dragon.
So us, and it needs 3 people. Does it need 3 people to blink, or just 3 people to just steer the ship?
3 people to do anything, but me and Leela have got this covered, and she's
Leela's still there. Yeah, okay.
Yeah, we just need one other person to take the role of Asher.
Yeah, actually not bad. But you know what? Fuck it. Cedric will.
Make an intelligence saving throw, Cedric.
What is your intelligence score, Cedric?
0. Oh no, sorry. My intelligence score is 10, but but
Druids are proficient.
Yes, so I do get a +5. So actually, it's not great. It's a 13. But it's not bad either.
Well, the DC's 10, you're fine.
Oh, okay, that's good.
This is an unusual experience for you. You reach out and you feel your mind connecting with the ship. And then you feel it reaching into Kafina's, her sort of mechanical mind that's, powerful, arcane spells that she is able to draw from her own bloodline. And then the rapid fire chaos that is just Leela's mind.
Hopefully it's going to come to some sort of
balance out.
Between Cedric and Leela, yeah.
Somewhere around Kafina.
Yeah, basically, yes.
Okay, so the three of you can choose to plane shift the ship if you wish.
I think we can fly it quite quickly towards where
We
they are.
just fly towards them. Yeah, hopefully we'll meet before the hour ends. Because if we're running out of time,
It flies 100 feet around.
yeah.
We're going 300 feet around.
So we're coming back, and then all of a sudden we just see
Guys,
ships going towards
we're
us.
helping, okay?
At what point do you do this? Because with the searching and the various looking around, that would have pretty much used up your hour.
45-minute mark, we would have probably started heading.
Okay, that's when they got there. So you start flying it back towards them, and even with that speed, you are aware, you particularly, Cedric, of when this is due to
Okay.
go away.
I think we need to prepare Cedric. No, I keep doing that. Why do I keep doing that? Prepare Gundamir.
Prepare me.
Prepare me. For potentially being alone in whatever chaos there is on the other side. Wait, and also I got a very quick question.
Yes.
Is he concentrating on Windwalk?
No, it's not a concentration spell.
Okay, good. Because that might have gone really bad if he's just like
Died.
yeah, just gets teleported back and then something about it. Okay, so
Not a concentration spell.
It's fine. I'm a monk. I've got a slow fall.
okay.
We really need to decide something. We need to think about what we're going to do for this with Gundam. We're going to make sure that he's okay. We're going to make sure that he's all right. We're going to maybe if he can take him there, look after him in the elemental plane of event. We can just sort of sit here on the ship and we can take the ship there ourselves.
Was that we can take this ship to the elemental plane of air now?
Well, no, it was Kafina could take Gundamir.
Actually,
and you wait with the ship until everyone gets back.
Actually, why don't we just go back before the hour ends and then we immediately come back with Gundamir?
Well,
Like there with the ship, back with the ship, and then Gundamir.
We just don't know what's on the other end.
Yeah, I
And
know.
If we get stuck there, then that's going to be a big mess.
Yeah, we're leaving everyone else behind if that happens.
That's my biggest worry about that.
And then you mentally feel how much I'm worried about Gundamir and his strudels.
Oh, that's a lot of strudels. That smells really nice. It smells really great. Can't Mr. Kelotar contact us in some way? He can use his magic. He can get in touch with us so we know where he is and we can get back and we can focus on each other.
Where are we at this point?
You guys are still searching Soul.
Oh, okay, cool.
You know what? Let's do this. When have you ever had a bad idea, Fee?
Well, apparently my idea to not give the gem to Gundamir was the right call, but you know.
Oh, yes, indeed. Okay.
Ross, have you got a sentence you want to say about being possible deities, maybe, or something along those lines?
Yeah, let's do this.
Where are you teleporting to?
Outside Gundamir's house? That's where I'm thinking of.
Yeah, I mean, it probably doesn't exist anymore considering the gem blew up, but we're, yeah, just outside.
Oh.
Okay. You concentrate and you start thinking of Gundamir's home. It blinks out of place and reappears.
I feel like something bad just happened.
The islands that you find, you see yourselves now with the sort of the exterior energy around you, but you hear cracks of lightning and bolts of, claps of thunder. Just as you look around, you sort of take a moment to extend your mind, your vision outside, and Noala sort of goes, "Oh, she runs upstairs and has a look." She comes back down very quickly. Is there meant to be a mountain range here?
No. Yes.
No.
I don't think there is there?
Oh,
no.
There's
There
a land
was,
mass
like-
of some sort, or there's like a floating
Floating
city or something.
islands.
Yeah.
Yeah, floating
Floating
out.
Yeah.
Yeah. But the
No.
mountain that we went to was like ages away. It's not visible from Gundamir's house.
No, it's pretty close to Gundamir's.
Is it?
The mountain. Oh, no, sorry, the mountain range. Yeah, no, that's pretty far away.
Yeah, that one.
Yeah.
That one. Yeah. No, there shouldn't be. Is there?
There is some sort of mountain range, a massive peak. There's lightning bolts being fired all over the place.
Okay, I think we should just get out of here quickly. So I'm going to drop concentration on
Okay.
Gundamir being in the ring, but not.
Okay.
Does that make sense?
Yeah, he flickers out and reappears. He actually disappears completely from where you are.
Yes.
We need to go. Do we need to go into his house and retrieve him?
Hopefully he should be able to just fly back to us.
Tentacle in gently.
It's contained within the bowl. The tentacles aren't available at the moment unless you tear through it.
I mean, I will await Gundamir to.
I mean, you are welcome to go and have a look yourself out of the.
During Gaia's desire.
You're not there.
Spoilers, Connor. Gee.
It's not spoilers. We've been telling you.
Well, I have
Lightning strikes over a mountain range every couple of seconds.
I'm forgetful.
So.
Do we, with our mind expanding and at least closely around us, are we noticing Gundamir A, back where his house used to be, and B, flying towards us?
You do sense a blip that has suddenly appeared outside, but you are also aware that there are many other small wind gusts that are flying around, which you assume to be air elementals with your particular knowledge of, the airplane and.
I'm assuming he's just traveling back. Like, can we sense him moving? He was conscious. He was fully healed, and he was fully aware of what we were doing.
He is moving, but he's moving slowly. The way you can sense it, you're trying to work out whether it seems like he's probably stealthing his way to you.
We will be slowly gliding towards him as well.
Yeah.
Okay, what, with the ship?
Yes.
Okay. I need you guys to make a dexterity saving throw for the ship.
Okay. Oh, who wants to do that?
I don't have the stats for it up right now.
Bear with me. I will
I
find.
definitely do not.
Bear with. I have them saved somewhere.
Bear with.
Nope, that's a dragon.
Dex is -3.
So we're fine. We're good.
Yeah, the ship has a dexterity score of 4. I can't see anything on there about any bonuses to saves.
Ross is lying to Laura by messenger.
She literally screamed, "What's happening?" I'm like, "Nothing. Cedric's here. Everything's fine. It's great. No one panic."
So who's rolling for the deck save?
I'll do it.
Yeah, go on.
Yeah, I'll be responsible for. Yeah. 9.
9. You see something tearing through the upper space, and you sort of try to maneuver the ship away, and it strikes into it. The ship takes 16 points of lightning damage.
Wait. Can I just clarify? Is that the outer part? Because the outer part's got like 100 hit points, right?
Yes, that's the outer part. However, you Leela, and Cedric each take 16 points of psychic damage.
16.
Yes, 1 6.
Okay.
As a bolt of lightning just strikes out Now, you can feel that there's a very good possibility that if that happens again, there's going to be some fire.
Noted. How close is Gundamir now?
Gundamir has started to speed up. You kind of get the sense that he has seen this happen and he is booking it towards you now as fast as he can with his...
Did we get struck by lightning because we moved or just random chance?
You don't know.
How does lightning work?
I don't know. Kafina, you seem to be the expert for this.
I really don't.
Do you know how lightning works?
I don't.
No.
You don't know. All you sense is that there are a lot of things that are throwing a lot of lightning bolts around here. You also sense that there's a lot of arrows that have been fired back in the opposite direction.
And you've parked in the middle of them.
Kind of, yeah.
Okay,
Not in the middle of them. You're sort of behind. You're behind, the attacking force at least.
maybe a bit less of a slow saunter over to Gundamir and basically try and just pick him up.
Scoop him with the front of the ship.
Well, you want to run
Hang on.
back.
If there's a hole in the ship now from the lightning bolt, can we just move it to the
It hasn't got flying yet. However, Lala has gone up to the top and she's sort of stood there with the hatch waiting to pull him in when he arrives. He does fly over the top, she pulls it down, she goes, "Go, get us out! No, 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 no!"
Back where we were
Where you-
before.
Okay. You reappear back where you were. He goes, that was not my home, not entirely. Well, at least I appeared in my home. It was destroyed, but it's like they took the Sky Island and brought it here.
Yes, it was not as pleasant as the first time. But at least we have you here safely now, because that would have been, well, shit.
I apologize that my home was not good enough for you at this time.
Oh, I don't think it's anything that you could have done. Sometimes things happen.
Ask him if he saved the strudel.
I literally just wrote that in chat, but how?
I've got this strudel here. That's my fault was necessary. No, he hasn't said.
Oh,
There's a war going on outside his house.
Yeah, but we know how seriously he takes his
I'm
baking.
very impressed.
I know everyone might think that was a terrible idea, but if we didn't do it, Gundamir'd be dead.
Yes.
So, you know.
But no one knows what's happened yet. They
Yeah,
haven't caught up to you.
so
We're not.
still
They
searching.
Me and
haven't
Cedric,
judged you on your decision yet.
I'm mental high-fiving Cedric is all, yeah? Just-
Okay. You also feel a barrage of mental high fives from Leela. That's just all.
You take 10 points of psychic damage.
Psychic bludgeoning.
you
I
you
will,
wait on the ship.
yes, and I mean, if we got a little bit, tiny bit more time, I will go check on. Oh, and in fact, I'm probably actually better. Also, can someone maybe go check the damage and see if anything needs to be done, rather than Cedric doing it and having no clue what he's like. Bang bang, fixed it.
Me and Leela can go sort that.
We can have a look. We might want to disconnect from this, otherwise we're going to have to leave Cedric in charge of the entire ship, and that's going to be a problem because it might hurt him, and he's probably
I will.
It's more of a psychic disconnect rather than taking off a tinfoil hat. But yeah. But with you and Leela, you go up and have a look around the outside. It's scorched and there's a bit of damage there, but between the two of you, a mending spell and a couple of things, you sort of patch it up a little bit. Obviously, there are tools that are available on the ship that are for the reconstruction of the Out of the Skies if necessary. So,
Were they able to leave me connected and in control of the ship? Because I forget the rules of it now, but
one of you can take control of it, but you have to make an intelligence saving throw to not go insane.
yeah, so I'm not going with that option.
No, well, the general assumption is that all three of you disconnected.
Okay,
So you're
good.
just now there. It's just floating where you were.
Cool.
But you managed to repair the ship, repair the damage, to a satisfiable conclusion. We'll say that takes up the rest of the time that it takes for the party to return. At which point you see Kafina and Leela on the outside of the ship, seemingly patching a hole.
Fly into the ship.
Yep, you fly in, land. Cedric is there. Gundamir still on the floor, but Nala still sort of making sure he's okay.
Turn back.
Okay.
Hello.
You condense.
What's happened to the ship?
Why are two of our friends patching?
Nothing to worry about.
Inside check that shit.
Make an insight check on that shit. Cedric, make a deception check.
It is nothing to worry about. Oh, it's not going to be good. 7.
13.
Yeah.
I could have done it.
Cedric thinks that says that there's nothing wrong anymore. It's not necessarily the case about 10 minutes ago.
Also, where is is it where we left it or where they?
No, they moved forward a fair bit. So it was about 50. It was about 15 minutes of travel closer to.
Right. What happened? Because this has moved.
Well, you took quite a long time, so we had to make some decisions. Some of them involved moving the ship slightly forward. Some of them involved other things.
What other things?
What were the other things?
Like,
Who's going to sum up?
Are we finished repairing the outside yet?
Yeah, just about. You coming back in now.
Okay, cool. Because I want to stomp as I come back in and be like, we said 1 hour. You said you'd be back in that time, and you weren't, and we had to leave.
You had to leave?
well, if we hadn't, then Cedric would have just gone back. We needed to-
Why can't you remember?
Is that you again?
Why am I so caught up on that?
Right.
I'm going to say once and I'm glued. It's like glued into my brain.
Hang on.
This
Sorry.
situation, are you also Gundamir? Like, is this Looper? Is this a Looper thing?
Maybe.
This is my character. He's playing Cedric Gundamir's child.
It's I'm going to blame the heat.
No, he must be a doppelganger. The real Cedric wouldn't forget his
I'm
own
playing
name.
some secret mini game that Luke sent me where I have to say Cedric multiple times during the session.
So you.
Anyway,
Why do I get the feeling you haven't spent all of the time here?
well, there was a big storm, so we.
When was there a big storm? Because it wasn't around us.
It was for a bit. Around
Inside.
the ship, I mean.
Where was the ship when the storm
Keep lying.
happened?
Hold on.
He did make an amendment to it that it was around the ship, so you can make an insight check. What was your question, family? Sorry, I had questions coming over.
Where was the ship when the storm happened?
I'm not really sure, to be honest. It was in a storm.
15 on that initial.
I'm not going to even bother with Cedric rolling deception.
It's just like they're mostly truths, but they're just
The
very.
storm was around the ship, yes.
How did you get to where the storm was?
And more importantly, where was the storm?
Well, I don't know where the storm was, but we got there because we thought about going there.
Where were you thinking about going?
Oh, we were thinking about going to Gundamir's house.
At which point Leah says, yeah, we went to Gundamir's, and when we got to Gundamir's, there was like a big storm going on. We sent Gundamir back to his house, and then he came back in, and there was still a big storm going on. So we had to come back and wait for Gundamir to come in.
You went to the plane of air where our friend has just come from, or not, missing an arm,
Yes,
and you thought that was a good idea.
yes, because you were late.
To be fair, that was,
I'm sorry, I'm a bit of logic on that.
am I wrong? But wasn't that the original plan, that you guys would make it back within an hour, and that like we would all go
But
to the
once
element?
again,
I'm
the
not sure why
scouting
anyone's
mission-
surprised. Sorry.
Once again, a scouting mission just took a little bit longer. It didn't quite go as planned.
Well, no,
Hey,
this
the
is actually-
scouting mission went fine. It was you idiots.
No, it was an accidental scouting mission. We were trying to save Gundamir, and now we have info. Double win.
What info do you have?
Well, there's a big storm somewhere.
Shut up,
I
Cedric.
mean, the big storm over Gaia's Desire,
There was a mountain.
the one we told you about.
There was a mountain range, yes.
Sorry, a mountain range had attacked.
Yes, with a storm.
Right. I'm going to say now. I'm not going there.
There was lots of lightning and thunder. It was very, very frightening.
I knew that was coming.
Yeah.
Luke,
Worst thing
what
about playing online, I
race
can't
was
slap
the
anyone.
Hold on a second. Sorry, Jared.
Sorry.
what race was the fella on top of the ship? Sorry, do I know? Was
From with your perception, they
was it
were
25?
They were they looked humanoid and they were a big humanoid. So you would guess
Giant.
probably a giant.
Right.
Sorry, Jared. What were you saying?
I was just going to say it's a shame playing online because we can't slap Ross, but yeah.
Can't throw things at people.
Would I think that would be a visionary?
It's worth noting
yeah.
that the visionaries from the planes of fire and air were both giants.
Yeah.
And we know that the ever-moving boulder, is that what it's called?
Yeah. Self-leak is elemental.
Left very large footprints behind it. It actually makes a sort of sense for them all to be giants of a particular sort that's appropriate to their plane.
Is it just me? But I feel like we've already been told this. Might have been a while ago, but all the planes are being merged into this one, aren't they?
Yes. This is exactly what's happening.
Yeah. Okay. I assume there's a way to stop it from this side, but might it be easy? Well, is there a way to get to the other side now? I was just curious.
Well, no. I think what you just experienced by trying to go to the other side is here. You aimed for the plane of air and ended up in the mountain range, not too far away from here.
That doesn't seem like what happened.
I mean, I'm not sure, because did you aim for the plane of air or did you aim for Gundamir's house?
Gundamir's house. So maybe...
That is where the gem was, so maybe it's just that small part of the plane of air that's been...
It would still need to count as an alternate plane of an alternate dimension for the spell to work, though, or for the ship's ability to work. It needs to.
Because it's here. The elemental plane of air is here now.
Okay, and so we're sure all of it's here, because I get the feeling that maybe it's like there's the other side of the door, and we could just close the door from the other side, maybe.
We know
for the sake of this, I will say it probably needs to be easier. Asher, Kafina, and Lyra and Kelotar make Arcana checks.
18.
Yeah, there's the big boy number. 7.
Okay. But you can inspire yourself at this level.
No, because I haven't taken any more bar levels.
I'll guidance Asher.
She's already rolled.
I'll guidance someone who hasn't rolled.
I've already rolled, but
I got 22.
22?
Throw another d4 on there, Lyra.
I'd already rolled before you said...
Screw you.
Kafina, what did you get?
I rolled an 11 plus an 11 makes 22.
Good, nice. And actually, you're 18, yes?
18, yeah.
Right. Lyra and Kafina, you get the sense, thinking about this, that what is most likely what has happened is that a portion of the elemental plane, or whatever plane it is, has been brought to the mountain range. And combined with the various bits of information and things that you saw, they are slowly expanding. So essentially, like in the Halloween Horrors episode of The Simpsons, where there was a portal that appeared in the house, and it slowly expanded, just sort of dragging various bits of the house until they all fell in. The opposite of that, except it's drawing the elemental plane in.
What medium?
The
Chalk or charcoal or pencil?
Asher, you and I noticed that the bubbles seem to be expanding slowly.
Slowly, yeah.
But you can assume that's happening for all the planes.
And the longer we leave it, the more there'll be.
And if and when those planes reach each other, that could be very bad indeed. We're talking, that's where the material plane itself gets ripped apart.
Well, That's why people from my country are calling it Ragnarok. It'd be very bad for everyone. So I saw, which is why I gestured for us to leave so quickly, a very large, bluey, paley giant. I think he had something in his eyes because he was like trying to do something with his hands, but I think he definitely saw me or us.
That's not good.
Why do you think they did not attack?
Well, he was incredibly arrogant, and he definitely beckoned me to come down to the ship, which I politely declined.
I'm at you, bro.
He looked very arrogant and confident about himself.
We were more or less at the edge of the bubble, so we would have been like 2.5 miles away from him.
Incredible.
Because the ship is on top, you would have had to have gone further up to get into a position where you're actually able to see it because of the snowstorm that was around it.
So closer than that, but still probably quite a distance.
Yeah, quite a distance, but you were at least close enough to be able to make out bits of the ship.
Yeah, but maybe not close enough for an attack.
Potentially, yes.
But it did seem to be that if we are going off of, the Scourge Lord was a giant, the guy from the elemental plane of wind was a giant. This could well be a visionary, politely placed on top of said bubble.
And wasn't Roywin having to do some sort of ritual to bring Garyon through? Maybe they're using a similar ritual to bring the whole plane through?
The thing with that is the power the visionaries were given also tied them to their planes, which is what we experience with the gems and not being able even to put them in bags of holding. So that's why the planes have been brought through, so that the visionaries can exist on this plane.
Yes.
That's how Roy got around it.
I wonder what would happen if one of them were to fall out of their plane.
They need a parachute.
They'd return to their own plane, but whether or not they'd return to the portion in this, in the physical plane, or whether they'd go back to the remainder back in their actual plane is questionable.
If the dome of water is still expanding, maybe there's still a group of magic wielders performing a ritual to keep the portal to the plane open and keep bringing more of it through.
It's not expanding very quickly.
But it is expanding.
It is expanding. It's moved about 10 feet in the last 2 days. So what's our...
That's still a lot of water.
It is. What's our best option at this point?
Well, I can think of two plans. One would be to assume there are magic users in the city, using some kind of magic to bring the plane through. We could infiltrate the city and try to find them. The other would be to assault the ship on top of the dome. They don't know we have this airship. That could be quite a nasty surprise for them.
It's true. I think we're best off going for the ship first before the city, if I'm honest. Because if...
I think, like, the last time, even in Jorvik, the ship played a heavy part in it. We can't be 100% sure that they're using the same methods, but they were using that last time as a sort of conduit to keep bringing the devils through.
If that person that you saw on the deck, Asher, was the visionary, if we take he, she, they out, them.
Thank you.
So that was off. That's all right. If we take them out, then that maybe gives us a slight upper hand in the situation. If we go straight into the city, there's always that possibility above us.
Well, the visionary could just jump down and assist his troops down there, and we get slaughtered.
There were a lot of troops within the city as well. I saw Salvagan and various other water-dwelling creatures.
Actually, make an Arcana check on that one, or nature, actually, for you, Lyra, with advantage, because these creatures are monstrosities.
Sorry, did you say for me then?
Sorry, Lyra.
Right, I was going to say, I don't know anything about nature.
Sorry, no, I meant to say Cedric, because I was talking about Gunnar here.
True story, though.
22.
Okay. Those creatures that you saw, they ring a bell. It's something you read in one of the books when you were spending a little bit of downtime in the Guild Hall of the Orionids, particularly after having spent some time with Orion of the Sea. But those particular creatures are called Mahoru.
Mahoru.
Mahoru. They are vicious, and they have a sort of quite dangerous. They hunt in packs. They tend to travel around in mated pairs.
Oh, how cute!
Which is quite cute. But they do have a very vicious bite, and some creatures, some of the stories that are recorded of them from the guild have often involved the loss of limb. Cool.
Okay, so yeah, those will not be good.
We also have absolutely no idea what is deeper inside.
I know I rolled badly on perception.
Mhm.
Did the ship on top of the dome appear to be a vaguely normal ship?
It was larger than normal size ship.
Did it still appear to be made of wood?
It appeared to be made of wood. And the various other normal ship components. I'd say actually probably from your experience, it was probably twice the size of the ship that you encountered the devils on.
Okay, yeah, big ship.
Yeah, it's a big ship.
Foundling, when you spoke with Athena, did she say that the visionaries could be killed on this plane when they came through?
Yes, but they may well be more powerful than they were previously. And of course, there's the question of,
Bless you.
Thank you.
may the force be with you. And of course, there's the question of whether it really counts as being on this plane if another plane is leaking in. It could be worth a try.
I think we can take precautions. I mean, the spell for water breathing lasts all day, so you can cast it even if we're not planning on actually going in the water. So just in case we do end up there, we don't drown straight away.
Yeah, for Cedric to cast it as a ritual spell, he does have to have it prepared. Just an FYI.
I think I do.
Because you are presumably going to be taking a rest shortly, so these can change. I'm just making you aware
Yes,
that.
I think I do. If I don't, then yes, I will make sure it is prepared.
I have a. Sorry, go ahead.
So sorry, we're planning on probably going for the ship, not the city, right?
Think so.
I think that's our best bet.
I don't know if it'll help, but I have this token and just threw around my bag, and I pull out the anchor token, the one that will hold a ship in like stationary in space, basically. I don't know if that's helpful. Just theoretically, I guess if they try to escape or try to submerge the ship, this should hopefully stop it. It's a bit of a bonus.
That's good.
Might help.
Kafina, you and Leela seem to know this ship the best. If it could carry a lot of troops, which we thought it could, does that mean it could also carry some sort of load slung underneath it, maybe?
What underneath it? Sorry.
A load.
I'm seeing where this is going.
I mean, I'm gonna have to ask Luke, and Luke's gonna tell me to make an intelligence check properly. So
There is a carrying capacity as part of the ship. So if you were
Yes.
able to, if you
Cargo
were carrying a
capacity.
cargo that was, you tied it correctly, you could carry a load below the airship.
I see what you're doing.
150
There we go.
tons. 150 tons is the load capacity.
Yes. It has that load capacity. How well you are able to tie that to the underside, I don't know.
What's he
Foundling, if you've got enough black powder, I will physically hold it.
I haven't got black powder, but I'm thinking there are forests and rocks. We've seen where the ship is. Maybe we could just appear above it and drop a massive weight on it as an opening gambit.
I mean, given it's probably manned entirely by beings who can breathe water, I'm not sure if that would be as much of an advantage as we think.
It might damage some of them. And again, there must be a reason for the ship being there. If they didn't need it, why do they have it?
Yeah, why have it on top? I mean, it's definitely more dangerous having the ship out on top. They're exposed, they're safer.
Because he's an admiral.
I mean, sure, it could be a pride thing, but Foundling might be right. There might be an idea to this.
My inclination there is that I think the portal might be part of the ship itself, and therefore this bubble is actually emanating from it, and it is forced upwards by the force of the bubble.
So destroying the ship could well stop the bubble expanding any further and cut it off.
Might do. I mean, killing the visionary might do that.
Well, if we start dropping rocks and trees on them, they'll probably start fighting us anyway.
Do remember we might possibly have a beholder to worry about here as well. Ralakor is his lieutenant.
What's the firing range on the guns on this ship?
120 feet normally, I think.
No, psionic cannon, range 200 normal range, 800 long range.
Don't even need to get close.
Fire everything!
I mean, that's a disadvantage.
Yeah, but we could just pull up and broadside it.
Psychic damage presumably wouldn't hurt shit.
No.
If it kills everyone on board, then might solve the problem.
We could at least use it as a way to draw them away. I mean, they won't sit there and just take shot after shot from us. They'll have to come to us to stop it.
I don't think that visionary can leave that bubble.
Or send troops to attack us.
We also will probably have to destroy the blimp disguise if we're going to do the rocks idea. Yeah. Don't know. I guess, I mean, if we did it with a whole bunch of ropes and nets, I guess we wouldn't have to. They could be fastened to the outside, but yeah.
That was my thought.
It's going to take quite a while, though, to get enough for it to be worthwhile. I mean, when you said it, though, my thought was that you thought the tentacles should basically just grab some giant rocks and we fly over there with a rock in every tentacle, hurl them and start firing all simultaneously. What does everyone else think?
It doesn't actually say how many tentacles it has. We'd have to ask Luke for a ruling on that.
It has
24.
No.
One for each point of strength.
No, it's got 10
Oh, two
10,
more.
10.
of various different sizes.
It's got those little nubby ones like certain fish have, like little fins right at the back.
So what do we want to do?
I think we're
I think a combination of getting a load underneath to drop on them and then firing them on them with the cannons seems like a good place to start.
I mean, I've just thought of something else that's depressing to think about. Supposing everything goes well, we manage to take out this visionary, bubble goes away. It's still, what, 2-3 weeks until the ships get here? What are all the other visionaries going to do in that time when they notice one of them is missing?
I don't think the visionaries can leave.
What, the areas they're currently in?
Their areas, they are tied to the plane of existence that they are attached to. And they can only move around as long as their ground expands.
But they can send,
They could send troops.
and we
But
know
if they send,
that the Scorch Lord, his two underlings, are effectively assassins. We haven't met them, but we know they were going to be dispatched to basically find and kill us.
If they send troops after us, that means they won't be sending troops after the main army approaching down.
anything that
Point.
we do here, if we draw more forces this way and away from Channel Point, it's a win.
Yeah.
Not to mention, too, if they send their forces off because they can't go themselves, we're going to eventually whittle down the forces to the point where the visionaries are all by themselves, and that'll be much easier to take them out than
That
them
could
and an army.
take a rather long time, Kafina, but I like your optimism.
My heart says that they can't leave the bubbles that they're in, and that's why they're reliant on the expansion of their area. I could be wrong.
It seems like a good bet, especially for the water and fire, because they've gone to the trouble of creating.
Otherwise, we would see these visionaries romping through the wildlands right now.
Well, I mean, the gem contains their soul. The gem is inside them, and every time the gem leaves that dimension, we know they pop back to the original dimension. So, yeah, they would be torn back there. I know they have a body around the gem, but they're essentially the same now as they were in the gem, just with the body attached.
So I reckon a full-on assault on the Admiral.
With some preparations in case we end up in the water.
Yes.
Perfect. This plate armor doesn't swim very well.
Funnily enough, this half plate doesn't seem to fare too badly.
I feel glad that one of us will survive.
I hope that more than one of us might survive.
Well, one of us, only one of us survived the last one.
It'll be Leela, but no one will know our story because she'll say it so fast that no one will understand it.
By the way, where's our dragon friend? Did she stay behind?
He was just chilling on the ship.
No, to the dragon friend.
Silver Dragon.
Oh yeah.
The Silver Dragon, because no one spoke to her, and she forgot that she existed. She had gone with the commanders.
Fair enough.
It's all right. Fulmar's got a swim speed.
That's all right. Fucking hell.
You can't take it.
He's right. So, where are you guys going? What are you doing?
In the morning, Cedric ritual casts his water breathing on us all.
Yes.
Do you want to find a rock foundling?
Yes.
I will never deny you this idea because it's beautiful. How long have I got until I risk exhaustion from sleeping?
You're cutting it fine because you've gone back essentially a few hours, so jet lag would start kicking in.
Cannot find foundling a large,
I think.
big
in-
boy.
Excuse me.
Make an
Like-
investigation check.
A big, beefy.
Using wind walk, you make an investigation check.
I mean, considering
What is the largest rock I can see with a natural 20?
you see a mountain.
You managed to find...
I remember seeing in a dream a very large rock in South Peak.
You've got no way of getting to South Peak to get that giant rock. However, you do manage to find some very significant boulders that seem to have made their way out here somehow. No one's entirely certain. There's sort of a large stone circle that has been set up a long time ago, made up of these boulders. I'm not entirely certain what it is, but there's one that's a good, maybe 20 foot across.
I think we should use Kathina's idea of getting the tentacles to hold them because we don't have a massive amount of rope or anything. So
This slaps the back of the rock. This bad boy is going to do so much damage.
Do we want to wait till the next morning so Asher can have a rest? You look pretty tired, and also it's getting pretty late.
Oh, yeah, no, I just wanted to make sure there was a suitable rocky boy for us to find.
You want to use the tentacles to grab onto the rocks. You would have to open up the disguise and repair it essentially, and then it would probably be destroyed when you drop them. Unless you want to go without the disguise, in which case, fuck it.
I mean,
I say fuck it.
Who are we disguising from?
Yeah. Who are we trying to not let know that this is some kind of warship? Like, come on.
Big motherfuckers.
What kind of
One
disguise
The other,
can
I
we do?
don't think the ship's going to be in the air for that much longer.
Sorry, Ross?
I was to say, what kind of disguise can we put on this? Anything visual we want.
Can we make it into a
Can
battleship?
we make it into a big cloud?
With enough time and materials, potentially. You could use time to disguise it. I mean, there are spells that you could use to disguise it, like a major image or possibly hallucinatory terrain, technically, could disguise the area. If you've got any illusionary spells, you could cast that on the outside and make it look like a big fluffy cloud.
I think I can do it.
Luke?
Yes.
If, just hypothetically, if we picked up a boulder
hold on.
in the ship,
That's perfect. Every time any plan or question starts with hypothetically.
hypothetically,
Yeah.
if we pick up the giant boulder with the
Yes.
ship,
Yes.
skip to the astral plane again,
Yes.
I've just been to a high point above the ship. Could we teleport in so that have zero time to react to it and then just drop it?
That was my plan. That's what I was thinking.
Yeah. No.
In theory, I mean, you haven't been directly above the ship. You were sort of in line
I've
with
been
it.
near-
You can-
I've been
you
pretty
can
near
picture-
that.
You can picture the sky above it. Yeah, that will be good enough from where you've been.
I think we have a ludicrous plan, which is definitely going to lose us the ship, but I think it's worth it.
Gentlemen, we have our heading.
In the morning, we do battle.
Oh.
Could
Can we have first?
Yes.
actually,
So yeah, rest.
Take your long rest. Where are you taking this rest? Are you taking it on the ship up in the air, or you picking them up, taking them to the astral plane, resting there? Where are you doing it?
Let's just take the ship up in the air.
As high as it can go.
Out
As
outside.
high as it's safe for us to go.
Yeah, you take it to a fairly good height before you start feeling a little bit of oxygen deprivation, then you bring it back down to what is essentially around 9,000 feet up in the air.
I'm guessing me and Leela wouldn't have enough time in one evening to convert the blimp disguise into a fold out. Like think like a sunroof, but it just kind of retracts so that we
No.
use magical weapons without
You could attempt it. You could attempt it, but you would be spending your entire night doing it,
Yeah,
and it might not work.
it's just a shame because
You also run the risk that you also run the risk that if you're doing it whilst you're in the air, of cocking up and falling through and dying.
I got that. No, I was just because I don't care about the disguise, but it does provide 100 hit points of armor, basically. So I was kind of keen on that. But yeah, fair enough.
All right. So, a night's rest is had. Everyone. Hit points are restored. Spells restored. Hit dice is restored for those who have used them.
Why is my...
Oh, would I have had any time in that evening to start reading my Tome of Leadership and
Yeah, I would
Influence?
also do some reading if possible.
The two of you are in the same situation as Asher. You have been, basically your body clock is set for your Vic time. You could, if you wish, you could spend some time doing it. It's up to you.
I will. Okay, if I can't do anything, if I'm literally that exhausted,
You can maybe do. I'll say you could do. Well, you can really do anything. I'll say you can get 4 hours in at max.
that's I'm not expecting to read the whole thing in one go. So that's
Woohoo!
I'm happy
That-
just asking.
That
so-
means I can finish my tome.
Does that finish your turn?
Yeah.
Hey! So your wisdom increases to 16 or 18 now.
I should have actually looked at the thing before explaining how it boosted me.
Gives you a
gives
plus
you
2 to your wisdom.
+2.
Yes.
So my wisdom is now 18.
Hey! TDC getting higher and higher.
Yep.
The same as the spellcasting DC.
And no one ever saves against her static arc.
No, exactly. Obviously not good enough. All right. So, morning comes. Gunzamir is still quite hurt, but he does appear to be on the mend. Nuala is happy to keep an eye on him, and whilst you go off and do this. So, what is the plan?
Fly to rock. Pick up.
Down, pick up rocks.
Okay. Who is piloting the ship, please?
Guessing me and Leela again because we have
Sophie Leela, make another intelligence saving throw, please. Yeah, fine.
Sorry, is it an intelligence check or save? Did you say?
So,
Save. 13.
Okay. Asher?
Ooh, 26.
Yeah, you're fine. Much improved based on Leela's fiddling. You manage to make the connection again. You fly down. The disguise falls away at the bottom as you extend the tentacles out to grab these rocks and grasp them in the claws. For the sake of this, I will say make a straight strength check for the tentacles. Dom, you can stats
Yep.
available.
Ship strength is 24, so that's a +7 modifier.
So someone can make just a strength check just to make
Yeah. So sorry, is it +7? Is it?
Yep.
+7.
22 then.
22, okay. Easy enough to pick up these various rocks and pull them out of the ground. Cedric, as you're quite high possessed, you can see that on these rocks, as they come pulled up closer, you're sort of standing on the edge having a look at them, you can see that there is some druidic written on the outside of the stones.
what does it say?
It says, here be the resting place of
We'll put them back later, I swear.
of Kellen the Brave. Oops,
Sorry, Kevin the Brave.
Kellen.
Oh, Kellen the Brave.
That's so much better. What do you mean we're going to put them back later? We're hopefully going to drop them through a ship into a big bubble of water.
Yeah, exactly. They won't. They'll slow down once they get in the water. So hopefully they won't smash to pieces.
But at least they didn't. At least they didn't say this circle seals away the ancient evil. Do not disturb our else.
Oh, that would be horrible.
That's on the underside that he can't see. In case of world panic, remove boulder. All right. So you take that, you blink out into the astral plane.
Sorry, just to hit pause on everything.
By all means.
Before we
Do what
blink,
you do.
before we blink anywhere, I'm going to go over to Gundamir, and I'm going to say to Gundamir, I wish for Gundamir to be free of the ring of, is it Genie or Genie? I can never get the Jin summoning, to be bound to no creature or object.
He looks at you very intently. You're sure that's this? Nods, and he looks as the spell is cast and released. You see that there are some gold banding that sort of wraps around his sleeve. The fact that the damage has sort of torn away his sleeve, you haven't really seen this before. But he's sort of got this gold script, like tattoo, that sort of wraps around his, well, now only forearm. But as you let the wish go and he releases the magic, you see that script start to peel away, leaving behind the unbound flesh. He leans in and just grabs you and pulls you into a hug. I've been waiting for so long for this.
I'm sorry you waited even longer with me.
Thank you, my friend.
Thank you for all of the help that you've given us. I hope you will continue to be here to help us. But obviously now you have no obligation.
Oh, don't worry. That piece of shit destroyed my home. I want to fuck him up.
Destroyed my home. He ruined my strudel.
Basically, I was just waiting until Gundamir had his like redemption/vengeance arc set up ready for him.
Oh yeah, he's just taken a level in Paladin.
Next session, he's got the bandana far over the eye. You know, the bullet strip across the chest. You know, holding a gun in one hand.
Yeah, his specific tenet when he does do the oath is, "I shall avenge the strudel."
His strudel is the best.
And also my arm.
And we will still look to fix that for you. But I couldn't live with myself if anything happened to you again. Like, I mean, the worst that could have happened to you before.
Well, at least now I'm going to die with friends, not masters.
And that is how I would want it. Not us dying, but if we were to, as friends.
Make me laugh. It's, ribs. She's very good at her healing. I take her for that. That's very good healing.
She does appear to be. Well, I guess. Good luck, friend.
Thank you. And you too.
And I will go and busy myself with whatever the hell I was doing beforehand.
What other preparations are you making? Because we'll wrap up very shortly. So, spells or...
Yeah, do we want to do spells and stuff now, or do you want to do it at the beginning of the next session so we remember what's been cast or not? I mean, I'm definitely doing water breathing. So I will
You can do it now. I'll make it... I mean, it's not like this is on the internet for everyone to see and remind us. I mean, I can make a note as part of the recap what spells we have cast upon us.
Okay, I mean, I will ritual cast water breathing then.
Okay, water breathing is cast.
I'm going to cast freedom of movement on myself, but probably not until we're really up to go into combat.
Yeah, it's only 1 hour, isn't it? Yeah, so it's almost like before we blink back in, I guess.
Yeah.
Okay.
We'll be casting. I'd also be casting freedom of movement. Although,
Okay, so part of the same action that essentially is as you move in, you'll be doing that. Okay, fine.
But I will probably be casting it. I think if I cast it at a high level, does it pick more people, or is it just always the same level? No, it's just the same level, isn't it? There's no scaling on it.
Yeah.
It doesn't say there is anyway. That's fine. I will be casting it multiple times though, probably. So I need to prep a couple of rounds beforehand to get those.
But don't worry, you'll have time as the boulders fall.
So, but I just want to make sure that that's...
yeah, no, I'm with you. Okay, cool. Anything else? Anything like water walking or anything like that?
I considered it, but none of our plans involves walking around on the water, I don't think. So...
We get knocked off the ship, then might be handy, but
Is it water?
no.
What is it? Is it a? Oh,
It's another ritual, lasts for an hour.
It's only lasts for an hour. Oh, it's up to 10 creatures.
Yes.
Oh, well,
Yeah.
then, yeah, I would. Yeah, why not? I mean, that makes sense, doesn't it? I will be the repairing monkey that I can be.
Again,
You're going to be a monkey?
Yes.
So you can spend 10 minutes doing your water breathing, 10 minutes doing your water walking.
Right, that gives, I think, everyone on this ship water breathing and water walking. The walking only lasts for an hour. The breathing lasts for 24 hours.
Yeah, but if needed, you can cast it as an action. The walking can come. You can cast that as an action. It'll just
Yes, later on, yes.
Also, if you cast that on someone while they're underwater, the effect's amazing.
yeah, just skyrocket to the surface.
Really go right up to the surface.
I will also cast Dark Vision on myself because I think I'm the only one without Dark Vision.
Kathina is also without dark vision.
I can cast that on myself.
Okay.
Is dark vision concentration?
No, it lasts for 8 hours as well.
And Fee now has a plus 11 to Arcana, so I can't fail when I cast a level 1 spell. So unless I can roll a double.
Well, you got a one.
It's a level 2 spell.
Yeah. Theoretically, if I could roll a double 1, but that never happens.
Roll the Arcana check anyway.
I will. 5. So yeah, easy.
It's 16.
16, yeah.
Okay. All right. So 16 cast. Dark vision. Kathina, mark off the spell slot. Ditto for Cedric because that is not a ritual cast.
As we're about to blink, I will Armor of Agathis myself.
Armor of Agathis is at the ready.
Will I mark off the freedom movement?
Yeah, mark the spell slot for the freedom of movement.
I would like to limber up a little bit.
You have exercised. You've stretched for the day.
I will make sure that my dragon is rested.
Dragon is rested.
Fill up your dragon.
It's a hybrid, mate. Is that it plugged in?
Yeah, exactly.
It's rechargeable on the go.
It
So
runs on green energy, and by that I mean it eats goblins. So
Every time it breaks, it recharges itself slightly. So
I feel like there's one. I've got one more spell slot I can prepare. One more spell I can prepare.
Which spell will be that?
I just don't know.
Also, Luke, just so you know, because I gave Nuala the shield, I have the Helm of Brilliance on.
Okay. Is it attuned?
Yeah.
Gotcha. So you're resistant to fire damage.
Yeah. I know we're going into fight a water guy.
It's worth noting. It's worth noting.
I seriously wanted to figure out, like, I thought there might be a conduit in the middle of this bubble, and I was like, man, we got to pick up that conduit and dump it where the fire plane is. But then someone mentioned about how when they touch each other, bad things happen. So I was like, that idea doesn't work.
Yeah, I brought this along so I can hit a motherfucker with a prismatic spray. The melee character has no range. Well, I brought my fancy hat.
Rainbow Bee.
And if not, when I run out of gems, I'm just going
I said no!
to beat him to death with the carcass of the helmet.
Hey.
Oh yeah, cool lightning's probably going to be the last one. I feel like that might be quite good.
Okay, so you're going to be ready to cast Call Lightning at some point. Is this you preparing
I
the
just
spell?
prepared that one. Yes, so that was all my spell prepared. Right. So I know. Sorry, guys. This is just me setting up. So I've cast Dark Vision on myself. Yes. Does anyone? No one else needs that. I will. I have ritual cast those two. That's good. I just need to make sure everything's set up. Freedom of movement. I'm casting. I'm just going to mark them off now so we know. Okay.
Okay.
I'm casting on myself.
Yes.
I'm casting on Asher.
Okay.
I don't know who else to cast it on. Foundling?
Foundling has a swim speed. Foundling doesn't need it.
In which case, Kelotar or Cruce, I think.
Does Lyra have a swim speed? Because Lyra does a lot of damage.
No,
Lyra
but
has tried to freedom move on herself.
She did it on herself.
Right, okay.
and I realised that the freedom of movement also takes away disadvantage on attacks. So don't need to worry about using a trident.
Yes.
I thought it was just the movement in water, but the attacks
No.
as well.
It does specifically remove the disadvantage, which is quite
I
handy.
think I'll go Cruce then, because it's going to be melee stuff rather than, or which will be potentially more helpful than the spell.
I mean, the only thing I will say is that Cruce, it will slow him down, not being able to, obviously, if he's with the movement, but he does use a spear as his primary weapon, which is one of the ones that doesn't have disadvantage. Just so that you're aware, because I know that.
Well, maybe I'll just. I mean, I could do Fee or Kelotar, I guess. It just seems a bit silly.
Don't black dragons breathe water and
Black dragons have got swim speed.
Yeah, don't worry about Kelotar. He's going to be on.
I'll tell you what. I'll save the slot then.
Save your slot.
Unless Fee really desperately wants it.
I'll be fine.
That's fine then. Okay, so that's just me.
Me and
Asher, basically.
Me and Asher.
Leela's got a crossbow, so she's okay, but she can only shoot from a short distance. So, okie dokie.
I think that's everything. I think it's just those spells.
So, as you complete the various rituals and the castings, the rocks come up. You vanish into the astral plane. And once again, you feel that blink ready to go to return you back to the material plane. You appear back directly above the ship where the storm is swirling around. How high above it are you being, Asher?
200 feet.
Okay. As soon as you appear, what are you doing?
Release the rock.
The rocks are...
And fire the gun simultaneously?
Sure.
Might as well.
While we're here.
I believe the action economy on the ship means you can only do...
Okay, well, if that's the case, then I will break the connection.
Yeah.
And I would like to swan dive off the ship and follow the rock down.
Yes, Kelotar?
Well, no, it's more me.
Okay.
On its turn, the Nautiloid can take 3 actions.
Yes.
Choosing from the below. If there are 3 pilots, each one can choose a single
Yeah,
action.
they can choose a single action, but I think the tentacles are a single action each.
Yeah, we're basically, if there's 10 of them, we're going to be using 3.3 rounds, dropping all the rocks.
Okay.
Fall over several rounds.
It depends if it's being ruled as attacking with its tentacles or just letting stuff drop.
Yeah, I mean, it's a little bit... I would say in the concentration of getting all of them to drop at the same time, it would be either that or the cannons. That's the choice.
Yeah, we'll just drop them. Yeah, I'd like to use my wings then, of course, before I splat into the floor. But...
So, as this happens, Asher grabs Shatterfang, drawing it out of its sheath, and just swan dives, the blade shimmering in her hand, the wings flashing.
Plunging attack.
As she dives down, following the rocks that are released at the same time. And that is where we'll pick up next week.
Oh,
I'll see you on
so what's
Valhalla,
that-
boys.
Oh, God, so what's that idiot doing?
Follow it
If
in.
that's the last statement that I hear, I'm definitely okay with it.
So, just go. Asher,
Have Asher fly the ship again. She walked out in the middle of it.
as Asher jumps off the side of the ship, you suddenly hear a lot as Fulmar goes catapulting past Kelotar on his back, diving off and following. Yeah! Wings forward in, charging down. That's gone interestingly, and now we'll have a fight next week. Woo-hoo!
And you say Fee's the one with bad ideas.
I've not done anything of the sort. I've just observed it.
Your bad idea saved Gundam's life.
Yeah.
And into his life, yeah.
And he is free.
And he is free.
Genie is free.
That mini story arc has been satisfactorily concluded, which I quite like. Because that was a whole thing with Gunsmith after you eventually learned about the backstory.
Yes. Yes, more importantly. Yeah, I just couldn't.
No, it's absolutely fair. So,
I didn't know anything worse to happen. And the main reason why we kept the tether going was because if he was ever stuck in the airplane, then we could summon him back when we needed him. But it isn't there anymore, so the problem's are null and void.
Exactly.
Like, he's permanently with us at the moment, so he might as well be free and permanently with us.
So yeah, so that will make things interesting. Thank you very much for joining us, everyone, and we shall see where this goes next time as boulders rain from the sky onto Sorisa. This can only go well for me. So, thank you very much for joining us. Take care of yourselves, stay safe out there, and we'll see you next Friday. Good night, everyone.